Welcome to the YellBro
Okay.
Road. I am Jordan, and today we're going to react to a debate between Valhalla VFT, Nate something, and what's this other guy's name? Uh, Gary Melton, who's like a TPUSA supporter, and they're going to be debating Charlie Kirk. You know, amidst the new evidence that the bullet casings don't match a 30-06, allegedly. I think they're going to do more testing, but as of now, we've heard that, and that's a obvious, crazy development in that story. We're going to react to it. But first, don't forget to share support. Hopefully, donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We're in that Discord right now. All opinions are welcome. And obviously, everything I show you will be linked in that same description box, including this. Apparently, Pam Bondi was fired today, and I don't care. All right, let's go watch the debate between Gary
Bullshit.
and Nate.
How do you not care?
Why would anybody care? She's just a propagandist for the administration, like every press secretary. Or no, that was Caroline Leavitt. Never mind. But anyways, they're just all of them.
Caroline
were just
Leavitt's
effigies
still there?
for
They
the.
do the same shit.
No,
They do the
yeah,
same shit, Hickory.
but I was
completely
getting Pam
understand why you would
Bondi
get.
and Caroline Leavitt
He
confused.
hires so many blondes. Who can keep up? Okay.
Hey, Janine Pyro's not
Oh.
blonde, all right? Leave her alone. They're not all blondes, okay? Anyways,
Sorry.
so just to give a
Didn't
little,
mean to disrespect the judge.
she gets shit done, okay?
She sure does.
To a heads up to the audience here, Alex loves to play Charlie Kirk getting shot unedited on loops. So when that happens, I'm skipping past it because otherwise you won't see this video. It won't come out because YouTube will block it.
I don't want to see that shit either.
I don't want to see it, and it's not. He's not doing it in an investigative way. He just shows it for whatever. I think it's in a way to trigger the audience to
Yeah.
fill their minds with bullshit.
Some kind of psychological plays going on with that.
I think so. So there's no reason, like, but he's gonna do it. I already skipped over. Like if I click backwards right
why?
now, you'd see it, and it's like, why is he doing? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Why is he doing that? It is
And I genuinely I avoided seeing that video. I'm just not interested. Like I don't really. I don't get it. Like I don't understand the fascination with like watching somebody die over and over and over again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I don't know. He might be saying to his audience he was
Unless you're
one of us.
investigating it, right? Like you're trying to figure out what happened. Like that, I
Yeah.
understand. That's different. But like just like this like morbid fascination with like snuff film. It's I don't know. Maybe think about why you would want to show that over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I kind of do understand morbid fascination, just as like someone naturally like, man, I've never seen anything like that. Holy shit! But Alex I don't think he has that. He's just pumping it into the feed to his audience on repeat, on loop, for something that has nothing to do with actual like genuine curiosity about like, man, what does death look like, right? Younger people, kids, if they're curious because they've never seen it before, right? So maybe they get a little like, oh, what is that, right? Some actually
Sure, but
go
it
a
was
little
like
bit too
over
far.
and over and over again.
Yeah,
Like,
that's going too far.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like a little bit much. Like it's one thing where it's like, oh my god, what happened? And it's like, could I see? Let me see that again. Oh my god! And then it's like, I don't want to see. That's usually like, the normal, unless you're literally investigating it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, personally, it's like it's pretty sad. Like I just find it more sad. It's like, oh, like that's like a person.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I have pretty thick skin, but it wouldn't be like, I don't know, just staring at a video over and over again. It's more so like if someone's like, I have to show the image because we have to investigate this. Look at the angle of the bullet. Look at this. Look at that. Right? Like some sort of investigative thing. Like I can handle doing that. That's fine. The other stuff is just weird. It's some weirdo shit, honestly. With no sense of like, oh my god, no nothing about it, just playing it. Like he's seeing it too. He's seeing the image too. So and there's no like emotional reaction. Just it's just bizarre.
And that was your friend, right? Like it's like
supposed friend.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we like Charlie more than these motherfuckers do. To be honest with you. But All right.
And
Oh, good.
also, especially in my generation, people have like been so desensitized to having easy access to like basically like snuff films that they don't even like take into consideration that each and every one of those people, like that's like a person. Even the people that are doing the killings, like all those people are like hurting. But it's just content to people, like a movie.
I can't say how many, but I'm sure they exist out there. Unfortunately.
We know one of them exists. Shout out to Muay Thai.
Yeah, shout out to Muay Thai. Hopefully he's enjoying his snuff films from his jail cell, wherever he's at. But all right, let's play this debate. Once again, I give you fair warning. There's gonna be parts we miss because this guy will play that shit. It is what it is. As soon as I see Charlie on screen, I'm pausing. I'm skipping past it every time. Let's hit play. Is Gary versus Nate debating Charlie Kirk. Here we go.
And others, when they ordered a cover-up
Watch him do it in like 5
and
seconds.
screamed at Tulsi Gabbard, the president agreed not to investigate foreign involvement. And we
It's just
said,
this background
obviously,
for the rest
30-06
of
goes right to the neck at 150 yards. And if they can't match the bullet, there's a cover-up. And the media spun this everywhere that the defense claims it. No, the ATF says it's not a 30-06 bullet. So I am disgusted by this. I am horrified by this.
Wait, the story's changed? That's how they did it?
With Nate Kronacchia, was on with us yesterday, and Gary Melton has been on before, and I'll have them back up soon.
Oh, thank God. Thank God you said something, because my spacebar was not pausing the video, because I know he's going to play that.
So Alex Jones just said, no, the FBI dropped the claim of it being 30-06, and it's disgusting that we ran with it, like the general public, and believe that was what the government said, but that is what the government said.
That is what they said, and I think they tried to revise something shortly after.
But Alex just said, that's bullshit. They never claimed, the government never claimed it was a 30-06, and it's ridiculous. We said it was a 30-06.
Is he saying that? I thought he was like being like
played again.
Sarcastic.
Yeah, go back.
I gotta be careful. Go right here.
It may be sarcasm, but I don't detect the sarcasm at all.
Here we go.
This everywhere that the defense claims it. No, the ATF says it's not a 30-06 bullet.
ATF, okay.
So I am disgusted by this. I am horrified by this. And I'm going to try to shut up as much as I can with Nate Kronacchia, who was on with us yesterday.
Yeah, I was just saying.
If you went back further, if you went back further, that what I said was what he was saying.
Well, whatever. We're gonna move on. Either way, that once again, my original interest in this story was the 30-06 thing. All right, because everyone I talked to said it didn't make sense. It'd be like a 0.001% chance of happening ever, or whatever the fuck people were saying, right? And if the bullet doesn't match her, that should be the prime story in regards to this. I know Candace is gonna go. She has a whole series planned out. I'm sure, scheduled series to come out. But that if she's gonna cover the story, like that's where you go and don't leave that. You stay with that part right there.
No, instead she's talking about how Erica Kirk wasn't really with her mom. Like,
yeah,
that's what I saw. I didn't watch the video, but I just saw the title that she had for today. It's like,
I watched a minute and a half. That's what she was still on.
I mean, no pun intended. There's your smoking gun right there. If the bullet doesn't fucking match, that is it. Right? The whole story falls apart after that.
She could have talked about that too. I'm not sure. I didn't actually watch her show.
She
So
did.
to be fair, I don't know.
The
other day she was talking about it, but she wasn't she didn't like so solidly talk about it, you know? She just brushed over it.
She's probably doing, see, I told you. We already knew this. Like, instead of like, yo, like trying to be as, meticulous about it as possible. Like, yo, this is it right here. The whole story falls apart if that is not the case. If it's not a 30-06 bullet, it does not make sense. It doesn't.
She was talking about the ATF didn't want to use this test. So the FBI is using this test that the government said we're going to stop using this test. about lead matching bullets. Like,
I don't
so
know.
what they're admitting by doing that test is that they don't have, what is it? The normal ballistics test. That's not there. It doesn't exist. They're using this test that they used for 1980 and ended in 2005 for lead comparison tests to know if one bullet is like somehow fired by a gun, which we've dropped charges on killers because this test is considered not legit. Like, they convicted 2,500 people over 20 years with this test. They started releasing people if it was just that test.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure that if he gets off free, then they'll blame it on Joe Kent and Candace Owens or whatever.
Yeah, and I think they
So.
they did it based on fragments instead
Hmm.
of I mean the prosecution's going to do more tests to prove it is the right bullet or whatever. But whatever. All right, let's.
It just kind of seemed fucked from the first place because it seems like the whole thing, it was handled very strangely, and like I don't really, kind of hard to really trust whatever is going on in that Justice Department. If, in my view, I'm not trying to say every single person in that Justice Department is completely corrupt, but I'm just saying, like, the Cash Patel of it all. I don't know. There's something smelly in the deli, and I don't know.
Well, honestly, it wasn't even their case. It's Utah's case, right? Their state case.
But they came in and they're like, he's really important to the administration, so we're going to take over.
Yeah, and then they botched it.
Like,
botched it on like day 1 or 2. They botched it, and then they fall back and say, "Well, Utah, you handle this. You guys do it."
I mean, it is a Utah court system.
Yeah.
Right? That's where Tyler's appearing right now.
Yeah. It is a state case. But
and they don't have a ballistics test as evidence to back it up. I'm pretty sure they're fucked in a fair court system. But don't worry, there's no fair court system out there, so.
No, he just said the ATF says it's inconclusive. It does not. I think it's the idea that they had. It doesn't show
Which means we don't have the ballistic evidence to support our claim.
Which is basically necessary at this point, right?
That's
with a jury.
They've
heard enough.
That would be 90. That'd be 90% enough for most cases.
I'm just saying, like, you can say that, yeah, it's a state case and all that, but the federal government's been involved in the whole thing from the very beginning, right? Like, in terms of, like, the evidence.
Investigate, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the investigation and all that. Like, they've been involved throughout the whole thing. Like, it's not, like, they don't really care. Like, I mean, Trump was just the other day at, like, the Supreme Court listening to fucking opening argument. Like, that's, they don't, there's no boundaries of anything. Who cares? They do whatever they want. So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're gonna. At least it looks like, I guess, Tyler Robinson's defense is at least trying somewhat to defend the guy instead of that all being a setup as well, right? But all right, let's keep it moving. They're gonna make the arguments here, so we'll probably hear more information about it.
Sure.
Let's play. Here we go.
And Gary Melton has been on before, and I'll have them back up soon, maybe this weekend or it's Easter, or next week, a 2-hour show on this, because this is a big deal. Okay? We have a cover-up. We have a cover-up of foreign involvement. You got disinformation agents spewing all sorts of stuff about Egyptian planes and Fort Huachuca. We now know, in my gut, it's never wrong to cover up the real evidence. Okay.
Somebody who doesn't know and water freezes, the temperature that water freezes. Like, I don't.
But now
they use the lamest fucking shit.
They say it's not a 30-06 bullet. What is it?
Candy.
What is it?
Yeah.
So Gary Melton, Paramount Tactical, Green Beret, huge record. I'm not going to get into it all. All the combat tours. Nate Kornacki, all his tours, all the rest of it. Valhalla, VFT, Paramount Tactical on X, all of it. We'll put that on screen. But I just want to, since we already had Nate on yesterday, I'm going to go to Gary Melton first, just to give us his analysis for about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to go to Nate Kornacki to see if they agree with me and where we go from here.
Are you guys supposed to be individuals? They look exactly the same.
We have the Israelis openly saying,
like
the head of the ADL, use pagers on Americans, the same tactics. We have open threats going on. I'm getting threatened. We have, again, I'm not on the beat, folks, but this is a power vacuum. They're trying to come into
Obviously,
it. They're trying to get us into a ground war. Trump's now indicating he's not going to do that. That's good.
What?
This is insane.
What? They're not going to do a ground war because Trump said so in public.
Are you sure about that?
Sure, Alex. But whatever, it's not about Alex. Here we go.
So, Gary Melton, give us your analysis of this. Former Green Beret and day one saying this is bullshit. Then we'll go to Nate Kornacki with his take as this moves so quickly. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
I'm only here as long as I
Nate,
can stand up.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you said there that I definitely agree with you. And then there's some things that I'm going to push back on a little bit. And the first thing is I think that this Daily Mail headline is one of the biggest pieces of, I don't know, it's just malfeasance on its own. So, basically what we have is we have a headline and then we actually have what the article says and then we have what the analysis actually states. And so what the Daily Mail headline says is that the bullet used to kill Charlie Kirk did not match the rifle allegedly used by the suspect. Then the first paragraph says this may not match. And then we actually look at the ATF analysis and what it says is actually it's inconclusive. The other part of this that nobody's talking about is we have a Fox News article right here. And this came out yesterday, basically in response to the Daily Mail. And look, I think hopefully we agree, or to some extent, like the Daily Mail is a UK trash rag in my opinion. And I think they're reporting on this and the inaccuracies behind it. And the clickbait headline, I think, really covers that.
Sucks.
But the Fox News article says the defense has been provided with an ATF summary report, which indicates the ATF was.
I thought they were like a tabloid
to identify
liberal
the
trash.
Recovered at the autopsy to the rifle. Allegedly.
Daily Mail is
the other thing that it says right here is that
Tucker Carlson's
not being covered. The testing did positively
confirm
that the British shell casing found at the scene
Daily Mail.
match.
Daily Mail is British,
murder
but it's right leaning, I think.
So
what am I thinking of?
Daily
Mail and YouTube. Are you sure?
And that's where we're at with this.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Telegraph.
Nothing has changed, in my opinion. Me and Nate knew going all the way back to September.
I don't know.
UK too?
I don't know either.
That
Daily Mail is like a turning point there.
Round. That was being reported.
And it's like it. Oh God. Once again, I'm gonna watch as long as I can stomach it. Aside from the images, it's fucking Alex in the debate format and him being the fucking moderator. Here we go.
Robinson acted alone. I do think there's more people involved. And even looking at the social media posts that predicted this, I think there's more people
is the
involved.
biggest threat.
It could absolutely have foreign ties into it. But what I'm not seeing is evidence that says that Tyler didn't do it. That's where I'm at with that.
Sure, well, here's where I'm at. The trannies say they're going to kill him. 10 of them.
Oh, my God.
2, 3, 4, 2 days.
Jezebel? Is it the Jezebel
the day before he's dead tomorrow. Obviously, I talked to TPUSA. They said no cash. Said, well, we can't convict them. They may have been involved. We're not doing it. We know he ordered the stand down. My point is,
the trans Wiccans put a spell on him.
100-something yard shooting.
And then they,
come on, people. And so that's what adds credibility. The ATF saying, inconclusive, doesn't look at the same bullet. I get what you're saying. The Daily Mail is probably basically an MI6 cutout. But let's get Kornacki's take on this. Nate Kornacki, what are you thinking right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think me and Gary really haven't been that far off from the very beginning. We did content the first week together. I think Gary will say himself, the idea of a 30-06 not creating an exit wound is extremely, extremely, extremely unlikely. We differ on some things, but let's debunk the idea that this new report doesn't mean anything, just from a court of law standpoint, okay? Because what you're seeing people try to say is, oh, well, they can't conclusively match the round. That doesn't actually mean the round's not matched. Okay, well, we're talking about evidence in a court of law. And when you're talking about the word conclusive, it means something in a court of law. It means you have to conclusively match, let's say, a bullet to a gun, DNA to a rifle. Otherwise, that evidence is not going to be permissible in a court of law for the prosecution, so much so that the defense is already adding this in as exculpatory evidence. If you don't know what that means it's going to change the rifle from being evidence for the prosecution to use to find Tyler Robinson guilty to the rifle being used as evidence to prove he is not guilty.
Counter that or respond to that, Gary.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that, because I literally had no idea what that word meant. I'm not even joking. I forgot what word he even said.
Exculpatory.
Exculpatory.
I mean, I didn't know what
I'm
it
not
meant
watching
either.
the images. I'm just listening to him. But is he showing JFK being shot too?
Yeah, he's about to show JFK being shot.
Like, why?
I
Scared.
Whatever.
Because Charlie Kirk is as great as JFK.
I'll wait till it gets to the point that
It's
I'll
an
just skip it. Because
conspiracy.
I mean, I don't doubt that it's going to be issued as and submitted as exculpatory
okay, and that's him reaching for his throat, I believe.
evidence. We have DNA evidence on the firearm, DNA evidence on the spent cartridge. We have DNA evidence on the screwdriver. We got a lot of evidence. We have him admitting to it.
But what about
evidence on the screwdriver?
We don't have any of that. He admitted. Wait, he admitted to it? Why is there a fucking...
On Discord? They're probably talking about the Discord messages.
Oh, what was the screwdriver doing there? Like, what did that have to do with anything? Brought for fun?
His fingerprints was on the screwdriver, is what he just said.
He brought it because his fingerprints would be on it. Is that what you're saying? Is that why Tyler Robinson brought a screwdriver to that rooftop? Make sure they knew it was him. Like, hey guys, I want to get famous from this. Let me make sure I put my DNA on some fucking screwdriver and leave it there on the ground. Brilliant.
He's not very bright.
Oh, okay. Wasn't the DNA on the towel and not the rifle? Isn't that the story too?
Potato.
I mean, this guy, once again, we watched a video, and I'm glad, like, Joe noticed this, that he was walking in the wrong location to where he's like, I'm here today at Utah Valley University, and I'm walking the exact steps that Tyler Robinson took. Hey, man, you're in the wrong stairwell. That took, like, what, minutes? Like, wait a minute, the floor pattern on underneath the stairwell is different than the one that's, claimed as Tyler Robinson's, like, or where he was, right? Where they say he was. So you already, like, I could say the guy's just stupid, but I actually think there's something weird with this guy, this Gary Melton guy. I think he's a weirdo, personally. Just based on his arguments for this whole stuff, like some things, it's where it's like, your obvious answer is like, well, fuck, I don't know. Maybe something did happen. I don't know. We need to find evidence for it, right? But instead, this guy will assert things that we are like, wait a minute, this is not understood as being true at all. He's like trying to make it look like if this is the case. God.
Okay, there's evidence of his fingerprints on a screwdriver. Screwdriver doesn't matter. So
we'll just lead to a crazy
circumstantial story. It is circumstantial to support the government's story. But
it doesn't make sense. Stuff they said he used a screwdriver. You don't
convict people on circumstantial.
Whatever. They said he used a screwdriver to take the gun apart to jump off the rooftop with it. And then they found the gun put back together in the woods. That's why. Okay, that's why a screwdriver doesn't even like. How's that even going to work as evidence at all? How?
He had a screwdriver. Duh.
Like he's
illegal.
The fastest fucking draw in the West.
Well, evidence doesn't always mean proof anyway. So, it could just it's just.
It makes it for.
It's just a variable, I guess.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense.
But for regular-minded people, it makes it look more like you guys went to this guy's house or property, found random items, and threw them there. Say, look, his DNA's on it. That's what you made it more look like, bro.
Sprinkle some crack on him.
It's like you grab the towel, you grab the screwdriver. See, look.
Yeah.
Why do you have a screwdriver there with him?
Right.
he took apart the gun.
Original
Did he?
They're just like, well, it's
We saw
evidence.
the
We're talking
original
about it's
gun
evidence. It's like
picture.
evidence of what? Like, like what? What is this?
When we saw the original gun picture, we didn't see a screwdriver, did we? The
No, that was
screwdriver
on the
could have been
rooftop.
found later.
That was on the rooftop.
What was?
Next to like shell casings or some shit like that. The screwdriver was found on the rooftop where they say he took the shot from. But once again, if they find out that this bullet doesn't match that gun, like it's over. Like what could you say? Like he had another gun stashed away, he used that instead, and but he brought his 30-06 for like because it's his lucky gun or something. It's his good luck charm. He stashed the non-shooting gun in the woods instead of the shooting gun. It was a decoy. Rubbed his DNA on a towel and said, "Hey, decoy, I'll leave it in the woods." But wouldn't that get you caught anyways?
It just sounds like stupid.
None of it makes sense. None of it makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
It's like out of this
Yeah.
world crazy. And I think this guy
I
in the
don't
raid
know.
is full of shit. I think he's full of shit.
I don't know this guy though. Is he a streamer? A YouTuber?
He's a fucking gun guy. You know.
Oh, okay.
That's probably, let's be real. He probably got paid by TPUSA or some shit like that to come in here and be like, "See, look, I'm a gun expert.
Okay.
See, look, it must be the case. This Tyler Robinson kid did it." And when Alex says this guy doesn't buy the official story, what he means is, no, it wasn't just him. It was other people. There's other Antifa members around there too, helping him out, you know, with their trans agenda.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah,
The
that's
other
right.
trans witch.
That's right. Trans
Yeah.
people. Alex was screaming at day one, by the way, before any evidence was seen at all.
It's a harem of trans Tifa Wiccans.
Yeah.
Like fucking yeah.
I'm gonna just call him this from now. The liar Alex Jones said it was trans Antifa from day one without seeing any fucking evidence, except for the writings on
Feel
bullet
it.
casings.
He's been watching this stuff for many years. He knows
Oh yeah. Just
patterns.
It's like Iran has 45 fucking nukes waiting on the side somewhere.
Not politically motivated at all.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's politically. I think he's a coward. I got scared by. I got, threatened by someone. He's such a
Well, but he's definitely no, but he's working for a certain party for sure.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
there
yeah.
is that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I think they
There
scared
is like
him
a
into
party motivation. Yeah. It's like ew.
Yeah, he's a coward. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Tip of the fucking spear, huh? You can't handle that? You're a fucking coward, my man. You don't belong in this realm. Quit. Walk away and hope they don't take you out. Honestly. Here we go. I'm just tired of cowards, man. It's annoying.
What I've always said on this is that it's atypical. Can it absolutely happen? Yes, it can, especially once we get into some of the internal, external, and terminal ballistics of this. One of the things, what I will say is that we can't rule it out. And we have lots of examples of this, whether we're looking at, Martin Luther King was shot with a 30-06 at 65 yards. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy around Martin Luther King, but what I've never seen challenged was whether or not it was a 30-06. So he was shot at 65 yards, it hit him in the jaw, and actually hit his spine and then deflected downward. We also have somebody that both Nate and I know, Chuck Ritter, he was shot with 7.62 by 54 at 25 yards. It actually hit him in the spine, deflected downward. Not only did it not exit, he didn't die, and he stayed in the fight. So.
My God.
That first thing I think he was talking about two, military people.
He brought Martin Luther King.
One got shot. No, just right now. Somebody got shot in the jaw and it reflected down. He wasn't talking about Charlie Kirk, right?
The first thing he said was Martin Luther King, who got hit in the jaw. The next guy he talked about was a military guy who got shot and hit the spine and deflected at a closer range. Then again, if you look at the video, which I'm not going to show obviously, but that's through the neck at a certain angle. There's no jaw there where it's like, that's solid bone, your jaw. And I don't even know if if this all holds up either. The other guy hit in the spine and deflected downwards. I mean, once again, he went through the soft part of his neck, right? It hit I don't know. They have to make that make sense, but once again, if that bullet comes up as not matching the gun, then what are we talking about then? But don't worry, guys that let's people work for other people, they will be shameless. There is no no matter what is thrown at them, they will always make sure this is the argument or make sure this is the answer to the problem. Every fucking time. Alex does it. I don't know this guy as well, but I think this guy does it too. That's my intuitive thought. It's not based on study and evidence, really. It's just something I feel about this guy where I'm like, and the things I've heard him say, where it's like, man, this guy seems full of shit too. And yeah. So we didn't hit any schools. It was Iran that did it. Like, these guys, there is no options for them. These are not free people. There is no option. You have to lie about it, no matter what. If you get caught, lie in a different way, like Alex does. It's like, oh well, a missile malfunctioned and hit that school. We didn't aim at it. Oops. Just lie in a different way. But anyways, here we go.
The fact is there's lots of different variables. And one of the posts that I put up on X and just pinned it because I don't think we can exclude 30-06 completely. And the other thing that I've done since this, my stance on this has evolved because one of the things that I do, look, we teach long range for a living. We have our own line of long range guns, been doing this for over 20 years. One of the things that ballistic experts don't do is that we don't spend a lot of time looking at terminal ballistic reports. We don't look at some of these different pathology reports, definitely specific to 30-06. Once you start going down that road, you see that this is less atypical than people think. And then here's just some ballistic facts that I want to share with, and everybody can go check this out. I got this tweet pinned on my X account. 30-06 ballistic facts. You cannot determine or predict any terminal ballistic outcome without knowing the following variables. Ammunition source, factory or hand loads. Ammunition type, low recoil, varmint, big game, or dozens of other commercial options. Ammunition condition, old, new, exposed to elements or moisture. Projectile weight, 30-06 is available from 55 grain to 200.
Sure, give me subsonic, any of that. And Nate Kernock got cut off, so I'm going to come back to you on that.
Sorry.
Just real quick, here's my bottom line. I'm going to go to Nate Kernock. I broke it. It's confirmed now. They ordered no looking at accomplices, domestic or foreign. Now you got the ATF saying it's an inconclusive thing. Okay, 9 times out of 10, 100 times out of 99 times out of 10, it goes through the neck. All I'm saying is this smells to hell. Go ahead, Nate. Respond to what you just heard.
Sorry, my computer crashed a couple times, guys. Not sure.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Anyway, let me go back to what I was saying about the conclusive evidence and why this is a big deal. It is a big deal in a court of law because now, as I don't know where I got cut off, but if you cannot conclusively match the
Nate, you got cut off when they were replaying the death of Charlie Kirk 50 times. All right, here we go.
Because now, as I don't know where I got cut off. But if you cannot conclusively match the rifle to the gun or DNA to whatever evidence, it's no longer going to be permissible evidence for the prosecution in the court of law. And we're already seeing that with the defense that wants to now change it to exculpatory evidence, which will actually make the rifle being used as evidence to exonerate Tyler Kirk. Now, if they can actually
my fucking God. For no reason. There we go.
Property, which means you have to be able to tie that rifle back to the actual shot. You can do that through two ways. You can do it through ballistically matching the round to the rifle used, or the
These producers are fucking weirdos
matching
too.
to Tyler Robinson. Okay, well, there is DNA of Tyler Robinson on the rifle. What's the other problem? There's 6 other people's fingerprints
on that
rifle, which is going to make that also not conclusive, because how do you prove Tyler was one of the 7 people here whose fingerprints actually took the shot on that rifle? Can you prove that? Maybe you can prove that through, I don't know, video evidence, maybe that we haven't seen yet. But at the moment, the way it's looking is that the rifle could be completely thrown out as evidence in this trial completely. Because if you...
Okay, so I didn't know that. So there's, 6 or 7 different people with their evidence on, their DNA evidence or fingerprints or whatever on the fucking rifle? Yeah, that's not going to work. All right?
Yeah, he specifically said DNA.
DNA? Okay. Yeah, that's not going to work, I don't think. But, all right, there we go.
You can't attach, again, the word conclusive means something in a court of law. Very specific. Evidence is not working. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it matches. Maybe it doesn't. No, that's not how it works. You don't get to use that as permissible evidence against Tyler Robinson in that case. So
what is your interpretation of the ATF report? What is your interpretation of the ATF report versus Gary Melton's?
What? I can't even hear you.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Hi, everybody on the internet. Fuck you. Okay.
Lock in.
We're good.
Hi, Prop. How you doing? All right, here we go.
Well, I didn't get to hear what Gary said about it, but what I think is what they're saying is that there's fragmentation of the round, which I think me and Gary had talked about months and months ago. Sorry, Gary, I didn't get to see your what you were talking about. There's fragmentation of the round inside Charlie's neck, which I think we all thought, and that cannot be matched to the 30-06. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's not a 30-06 bullet. It means we can't match that fragment to that gun, which, again, in the court of law, that is going to be a big deal. But my thing is this. Now we just have a fragment, but we also had TPUSA's story, Andrew Colbett, who came out and said himself, told Stephen Gardner, who was on my channel, Officer Tatum, all these people, that what happened? Charlie Kirk was shot in the T1. That bullet traveled down his neck about 6 inches, and the entire bullet lodged in his, shot in the T1, shot in the C1, traveled down and lodged in the T1 just below his, or just above his shoulder blade area. And so is there not a full round inside his body?
Well, I want to say this. 1 hour after I said, 1 hour after that came out, I reported on that, and then I had Colbett call me and say, no, I talked to the coroner. It actually went down the spine, all this stuff. I said, okay, good, I'll put that out. I'm not saying, I don't think they're involved. I'm not accusing them of anything. But I mean, that's exactly where we are, is that the story just kept changing.
So, all right, good.
One of the things, dude in the blue background, what's his name?
Alex Jones? No, Gary Melton. Gary Melton.
Gary Melton said was one of the things that we don't use commonly is the medical reports or whatever he was saying to determine how like deaths or injuries occur. It's like he's writing this like it's like, oh, it doesn't matter.
No,
the way he's talking about this, he's writing it like it's.
I thought he was saying that that should be used. He's saying typically ballistics guys are not like, or guys like us are looking at, you know, the actual, like, I guess, damage to the body, right? They focus more so on the straight up ballistics, right? I think
he was saying like the system. He's saying like the system doesn't typically.
Oh, okay. Maybe I thought he was saying something different, but whatever. What's your point about it, God?
Like he's trying to lighten it so that it's easier for the government to win. Like he's narrative writing.
Fair enough. I can't say so there. I don't know exactly, but I do. Once again, I do have that feeling about the guy. It is what it is. And I thought Alex was gonna
Tyler Robinson is pleading not guilty.
Yeah, he already pled not guilty.
Okay, no, I didn't know I didn't know if he had talked at all, but he was the one who turned himself in.
That one's a little sketchy of a story too. Like that one's a.
But he's based on death penalty. He has no choice but to plead not guilty.
I think the idea was that they're gonna come arrest you anyways, so just give yourself up now before they burst in your house with guns and you might get shot or whatever the fuck, right? I think that was the idea.
Okay.
Which makes sense why someone would be like, all right, fine, fuck, I didn't do anything, let me turn myself in, like if he's innocent, right? Mm-hmm. So, but all right, here we go. And also, I just wanted to add, Alex. I think Alex has like a kind of a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction when TPUSA is brought up because, as you said before, he needs them. We need someone like TPUSA so that we can win the midterms, which is part of the reason why I was mad at Candace Owens. You're gonna fuck this up, bro. They're gonna put me in jail. Damn it, Candace. Leave TPUSA alone. But all right, here we go.
Well, let me finish my point here, Alex. My point with this is, okay, if we're going with what the ATF says as truth,
like,
which I guess we will, we have to at the moment, and there was just a small fragment that they could pick out of that 30-06 round that they couldn't match to that bullet. So you're telling me that a 30-06 round went in, hit the soft tissue of Charlie's neck, and evaporated into basically dust, like a frangible round would. We'll talk more about that in a second. And just a tiny little fragment is all that's left, also creating no exit wound from a 30-06 from 140 meters. I mean, I know Gary will even have to admit that that's very, very, very unlikely to happen. And even with frangible rounds, I did see you mention frangible rounds, accelerator rounds, varmint rounds. We've tested them all ballistically. Between me, Dan from Heavy Duty Country, Jesse on Fire, we've tested 30-06 frangible rounds. We've tested low-grain varmint rounds. We've tested every round that can come out of the 30-06. Every single one, including the frangible, including the varmint rounds, blows straight through things way stronger than a human neck. So what I would encourage, and
I just want to add, what's his name? Prosperity, Chris Masterson, or Matterson, Chris Masterson, I think his name is. What's the fucking channel name? Prosperity something. The guy did like the video of like the physics of possibilities in regards to the ballistics and you know the human body and what that can handle and all that stuff. Who did the most, like, to me, most coherent explanation that made sense to me, at least. I'm not saying he's correct, just saying like the way he presented it made sense to me. What's his fucking name? Prosperity something? Fuck. I'll look it up later. I'll link it in the description box so people can look at his channel. Who also does these ballistic tests and all that stuff on like a very, like, in my opinion, like scientific but easily explained level. But all right, here we go.
I'm still waiting for this. We've done our due diligence on this. We've done the ballistic testings on every type of 30-06 round that exists. We can't get a single one to not blow through straight anything way stronger than a human neck. So I would like to see someone come out and recreate the FBI narrative shot. Show me a 30-06, shoot it from 140 meters, and show me no exit wound in a ballistic dummy, and have that round lodged.
Well, let me ask this question and have Gary Melton respond, because we're trying to figure out the truth here. I think you both have credibility. What I'm asking here is about the ATF report. What is Nate Carnaghi saying that ATF report says versus what Gary Melton is saying? Because Gary, you're kind of saying they're saying it's inconclusive.
Yeah, look, they're going to throw out that element of the testing. That's what they're going to use as exculpatory evidence. They can't just throw out the rifle. They can't say, hey, we can't use this. That's not how the court of law works. They're still going to be able to submit the fact that, hey, you know what? The brass actually did match exactly to the rifle itself. They're going to have the DNA on the gun, on this spent cartridge, which I think is really important with this. And then, of course, you have, look, the strongest element of this is the parents and their testimony and what they have stated in the charging documents. And then we already know that the prosecutor is going to be calling both parents up to the stand and Lance Twiggs himself. So we know they're actually testifying for the prosecution. And if they get up there, and I know this has been alleged.
It's news to me that we have evidence that the brass has because that's what the ballistics test is, and that's what they're saying is inconclusive, because the ballistic test is, does the hammer match the identifier on this fucking gun, that when it hits the brass it fires the shot. That hammer hitting that has an identifier that is distinguished from any other gun at all times, because every gun's made differently by, like, it's so late, like laser making the hammer couldn't fucking make it identical to another one. That's part of what ballistics is. So him saying that is a lie. Straight up fucking lie out of this dude's mouth.
Okay, I know nothing about that, so
because if you're gonna say the ballistic test is inconclusive, if you had that, that's a part of it, and you would say it is conclusive on that part.
Okay, and that's how they would. Is that what you're saying?
That's half of what ballistics is that hammer hit through the gun because it's going to leave the mark on the brass every time on every bullet that comes out of it. And then the next part of the ballistics test is the rifling. It's going to put marks on the bullet as it travels down, and that, even made with a laser, is different on every gun. If it goes down to the level of a laser doing the carving of the rifling, it can't be identical to another gun. It's impossible. So these two things are what we call ballistics. I'm pretty sure. And you could, if half of it matches, you would say this part's conclusive, but this part isn't. Therefore, it's inconclusive, but we do have half of it. And if that was your argument, you would at least fucking make that argument. I've never heard that argument. This guy's lying through his fucking teeth.
Fair enough. I could believe that. I just don't know enough to say if, like, hey, this guy's completely lying. Like, I don't know enough. I am taking your word for it.
That alone,
for me personally, I can't say I know.
That alone to me is he's lying through his teeth.
Fair enough. And then the idea, like, once again, that it ended up in shards. Like, they found a shard of a bullet, right? Is what they're saying. The ATF examined. And then once again, when I said the same thing that Nate said, basically, where it's like it went, like, just common sense to me at least, like, it went through the neck, right? Where it's like, how did that bullet just shatter like that, right? Wouldn't there be, like, more to it? Maybe some fragmentation happened, maybe, but not the whole thing, right? You'd be able to find something resembling a bullet, right? Or would the whole thing just fucking shatter into a million pieces? I'm asking that question.
And that's what they're about to get into.
Okay.
That's what they're going to get into. Valhalla said we're going to talk about fragmentation in a minute.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, here we go.
Fine for the prosecution. And if they get up there, and I know this has been alleged, like, oh, this is all Fed slop. And I do think it's a little odd that people want to say, oh, this is all made up evidence and it's Fed slop. But when you have the exact same federal agencies or the exact same departments come out and give exculpatory evidence, now we believe it. But at the end of the day, like, the parents are going to get up there and they're not going to be called to the stand if they're not going to.
That's bullshit too. They're using it as a sculptor because they're saying the fucking federal government's lying, and we proved it because they fucking failed. And fucking prove them what they're fucking. He's writing narratives, dude.
Fair enough. All right, here we go.
When you have the exact same federal agencies or the exact same departments come out and give exculpatory evidence, now we believe it. But at the end of the day, like, the parents are going to get up there and they're not going to be called to the stand if they're not going to confirm every single thing.
Sure, but let me just add this right now. You have Jolly and West with Jack Ruby killing the Patsy, Lee Harvey Oswald. You have him with Sirhan. You have him with McVeigh, all of it. You look at Tyler Robinson. Let's put him up in court. He looks like a mind-controlled zombie. So just as you got somebody saying they did it, they can get me with electroshock therapy for a month, and I'll say I'm the Easter Bunny. So,
what? Okay, just saying he could be mind controlled into saying, "Yeah, I did do it," but he pleaded not guilty. Exactly, and his defense is actually working with him. Also, it is, and once again, like, he's
not losing his shit like the Batman killer. He's not doing that.
Yeah, like, this guy doesn't look like some crazy out of shape person, but that's a hefty drop from that rooftop. It's kind of crazy. Like, from there, man, like, how high is that? What do you think?
2 stories.
And if he's like, what, maybe 5'10" to 6 foot, maybe is how tall he is. Maybe short. I don't know.
He's like probably 120 pounds though. Fucking scrawny little kid.
He's a skinny guy, but he's, seems a little bit like he'd do something athletic. Or whatever, or he goes outside at least, or whatever the fuck. But, like, I don't know. That's a pretty big job.
He looks like a mind-controlled zombie. So just because you got somebody saying they did it, They can get me with electroshock therapy for a month, and I'll say I'm the Easter Bunny. So
Yeah, 'cause you're a
my
bot.
point is, when we have the FBI
You're a bot
confirmed
and a
ordering,
coward,
don't
Alex,
look at
that's why.
foreign involvement or accomplices, then you add the ATF saying inconclusive. To me, this is major red flags. Do you agree, Gary? There's major red flags here?
Yeah, if that's exactly what happened, then there is red flags. And that's one of the things that I've said from the very beginning of this. Going back to all the trans shootings that we've seen, we have a hugely disproportionate amount of trans shooters that are doing,
Orange.
school shootings, mass shootings.
There you go. There's your
compared to
narrative.
What's going on
No,
there.
I
One of
agree.
the-
There's definitely a trans terrorist issue.
Yo, it's a trans terrorist issue. Even when they're supposed to go over like a serious topic,
Oh,
they
yeah,
still
they're referring-
turn it into fucking narratives. Like, it's ridiculous.
Right. They're referring to the 3 times trans have shot people in massacres.
There could be more than
No, out of like 92 since the fucking Columbine, there's been 3.
I have been counting, but it's already like ridiculous to me off rip based on my understanding of psychology. Like, that just sounds ridiculous. Sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Well, just if what is the fucking saying? Minority proves the minority proves the rule or whatever.
I don't know. Never heard it.
I mean, then the
Maybe I get the
tranny would
idea,
be the
though.
minority. So, which would mean that it's not common to where you just go off of that.
Yeah. No, yeah, obviously, but I understand that. I never looked into it, and the idea sounds ridiculous off rip. It just does.
It's political. Why is even fucking doing that?
Yeah, no. I mean, Alex was screaming this day one. Day one screaming this. But all right, here we go.
And so one of the things that I tracked down, I actually interviewed Chase Hughes, and that was what I asked him about. I said, Chase, look, we have something going on here that doesn't make sense, from a mind control, from a, being able to target people online, psychologically profile people online, and then realize what's going on. Is there something that makes trans people or people like Tyler Robinson that has clearly identified himself as some sort of trans hero or protector that would identify?
Yo, where did he get that from? Where did he get that from? A trans hero or protector? Where did he get this from? Oh, I guess it's the
as you go.
The note that wasn't actually a note, but the FBI can confirm to you and reaffirm to you that this is probably what that note said, but they don't have the note itself. Is it that? Is it based on that? Got it. All right, here we go.
By them as, a lot more suggestible. And he said, absolutely. He's like, the moment
they're a lot more
there's no doubt they're mind control. Cole, let's get into that. Let's go to break with his fair time here. Nate Kornacki countered that with 2 minutes before we get a break.
Well, I'm not going to counter that. That's
I want to say counter your response to that.
Yeah, that's one of the things me and Gary have agreed on since day one. We both believe there's some type of external involvement. We both believe Tyler Robinson. I believe Lance Twiggs also is involved. I've said that from day one. I just do not believe the 30-06 narrative. I just refuse to do it because through, just statistical probabilities of this being reality, just basic, rationale tells me that doesn't make sense. It's way too bizarre. It's the odds of it are so low. And then now when we add in things like, okay, well, ballistically, we can't conclusively match the round to the rifle, it makes me even more skeptical. Because again, it's already so unlikely that this is the rifle used, and that's the wound that we saw. And so for me, I've never really been able to point my finger and say, who's responsible for this? Is it a trans shooter? Is it our greatest ally? Is it the federal government, the FBI? I don't know. Is it China? Is it Russia? Is it Iran? I don't know, but I 100% believe there was high-level professional involvement that either facilitated some MK Ultra style thing with Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs to get them involved, or high-level professional that maybe is a second shooter. I don't know, but I do believe Tyler Robinson, and people kind of get upset about that, but I believe Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs both were involved. I just don't believe the FBI narrative for how it was carried out. And I've had that feeling. I've had that stance since day one.
All right, let's come back then and talk about where.
Okay. So once again, They're saying
Right.
like,
30-06.
well, they're doing too much, in my opinion, baloney psychology of, I guess, trans people being predisposed to be mass shooters or something like that, or extra violent. I mean, like, if I change the scenario around, right? If I say, like, okay, let's look at Jocko Willink, right? A guy that Valhalla has, you know, I guess debunked in a way because of his kind of fake, what's it called? Fake honor, whatever it's called, right? Where, like, they said this guy was like a psycho in the field. Out there trying to murder as many, whoever, Iraqis or Afghani people he can. Right? It's like, what was that? Well, what's that phenomenon? What's that? And I think if you look at the core of it, like, oh, okay, now we're seeing it. You're taking your trauma out on other people. You know, it take many different forms of
We're also missing an aspect.
Hold on. It can take many different forms of like psychological excuses. Like, well, everyone picks on me because I'm trans. Right? That could be an excuse. Oh, well, these guys are the enemy. That can be an excuse. It's legal, though, right? Can be an excuse. Yo, man, listen, I grew up in the slums. I got no money. I do what I got to do. Can be an excuse. On and on. And so it can go down the line of human behavior, and you'll see they might have this little quiet excuse in the back of their minds to justify their actions, which is not exclusive to any group or whatever the fuck. It's just stupid to think that way. And actually, it's working backwards. You're working backwards. You're going further away from the individual and towards collectivism, if you will. Like a pseudo bullshit, malnourished, malignant version, pathological version of collectivism. Not like the capital C collectivism, right? Right, go ahead, Dubster. What are we missing?
Two things. One, you can't try him on being a tranny.
Sure.
Two, there's actually nothing to suggest that he is transsexual. His boyfriend, maybe, but not on him. And they keep fucking citing that shit like it matters.
Well,
and I guess third, it would be a motive. The motive doesn't prove anything. It's later to figure out like the mindset of. It doesn't prove guilt or not guilt. It's just, why did you do it? It's not that you did it factually. So go ahead.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I guess you already cleaned that up because the Gary Melton guy, the guy all the way to the left, was saying like that Tyler Robinson viewed himself as a trans protector instead of being trans himself. All right. So thus, you're basically the same thing, I guess. I guess that means the same thing in his world, in his single fucking brain cell world he lives in. Yeah.
Okay.
At another point, I'm fucking forgetting it right now. Jesus Christ. If I remember, I'll bring it back up. But all right, let's hit play. Hopefully, they skip the break here as far as like the editing. Here we go.
Where this goes now, because you have the former head of the National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent, saying he's ready to testify that there was a cover-up. How does that affect us, and where does this go? Because I'll tell you, I don't know Israel did it. I just, you see all this lining up. That's why I'm saying we have to look at that. And I was the guy day one saying, don't say that without evidence. We'll be right back. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do this. The folks at Big...
He's actually going to play a fucking ad. Skip. A super skip. Omega skip. Here we go.
Or whatever it is of what's happening
$8
now.
shirts for $25.
And we have Joe Kent, which already had other sources, not him, about that meeting saying don't look at foreign involvement or domestically.
It's not made in China with cheap labor. It's made in America with cheap labor. It's better, trust me. All right, here we go.
And I talked to TPUSA high level. They said, yeah, we talked to. I don't think they're involved at that level because they were very open with me. They're like, yeah, we Patel's like, oh, well, they might have been involved. We can't prove it, so we're not going to prosecute them. So we already have it confirmed. They're saying don't look at other people. Then you have the ATF saying it's non-conclusive. That's a very corrupt agency. I'm surprised they didn't cover it up. Who knows what's going on now? Then I want to ask both of our guests, just in general, about the war, Iran, all the mixed signals that are going on, what the military community is telling them.
I might let this play for a little
bit. Let's go
bit.
back to Nate Kornacki of Valhalla VFT before we go back to Gary Melton of Paramount Tactical, and just putting bookends on, take as long as you need, on Kirk, where this should go, what you think, and what you think of Joe Kent saying he'll testify, and they're saying, oh, he's a traitor, he's going to let the guilty guy go. I think it's reasonable if he's in a meeting and they order us to cover up connections. I think Tyler Robinson thinks he was involved. But I mean, I'm saying trainees are a real threat and they're supporters. I mean, I don't know what happened here, but at the end of the day, where do you think all this is going? There's a lot of questions there, obviously, but just in general, Joe Kent coming out saying, no, there was a cover up here.
Okay, it's lagging for me, so I have to reset. You know what's crazy? The fucking gall of this fucking guy is crazy. As the guy to this day protects, but like originally, like during the election, like promoting, like this guy's gonna save the fucking world. Golden era's here. I mean, has killed how many fucking people at this point? But there's a trans problem here. Look at fucking Trump. Is he a trans problem too? What is that? It's like, what are you doing with that? He calls it illegal, right? He calls it war crimes. He calls it corrupt. Well, he doesn't call Trump corrupt, but he calls the action corrupt at the very least, right? Like, look at that. Is that because Trump's trans or a trans protector? Like, just nonsensical thing. And it's just walking humanity backwards, honestly. Whenever there's like a new phenomenon in the world, or a relatively new phenomenon, at first there's chaos, right? Because like, what is this thing? And it's so foreign and different. We must stand against it for some fucking reason or whatever the fuck, right? And then eventually they get comfortable with that thing and it becomes normal. But it feels like there's plenty of people trying to like walk backwards. And I remember exactly what I was going to say before, which is, why would Tyler Robinson target Charlie Kirk? Why would he do that? When it comes to like trans issues, why would he target Charlie Kirk? Can anyone like explain that to me? I'd love to hear it. I mean, in Discord,
about it a little bit. He was against it.
Sure, but like, look at the whole, once again, Republican Party apparatus thing, right? Guess who was inviting gay people on stage? Like, hey guys, we need to like accept gay people. Who was doing that? It was Charlie Kirk. He was doing that. He was doing it for political reasons because they're trying to get more voters, right? They see more young people. They see young people that are like Republican leaning, like as far as their politics, and gay. He saw that, I think, and was like, let's try to win these guys over. Instead of like letting them become like libertarians or some other shit, right? Keep them in the GOP, you know? Charlie Kirk was touring the country. Brandon? So I forgot his name, Rob or something. Some black dude,
gay guy too.
Some gay black dude. They were touring the fucking country, saying, "Hey guys,
oh, okay,
we accept gays over here, okay?"
Yeah.
Remember that? And Charlie was doing that up and down the country. So why would you target that guy who?
We watched him getting. Okay.
Well, it's like, why would you target the guy that you have maybe more of a chance of getting some leeway with than the more hardened mentalities out there? So it like doesn't make sense. But my guess is that this Gary Melton guy either doesn't know that or hopes you don't know that. Same with Alex. Same thing.
Well, they know not many people really watched Charlie Kirk until he died.
Yeah, well, exactly, right? But still, like, not any of these three guys right here, they're not going to know this shit. I hope that people have said some questions about, like, with evidence of the Nate guy, Valhalla VFT. But it's like, I can see that being a problem of pride and team playing in a way versus like I'm trying to be corrupt, I'm trying to lie to you. I think that's a little bit different of a category, different of a diagnosis. So I hope I do hope the guy means well. But even sounds like he's ignorant about all this shit. Once again, I'll say it again. Charlie Kirk touring the country with gay dudes said, "Yo, we need some," and it was a gay veteran, by the way. They're PRing that shit up and down the country to young people, to young Republicans or whatever. Like, why would he be the target? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to me. Unless, like you said, these kids didn't hear about that stuff, right? If Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs didn't hear about it, right?
Charlie Kirk did have a hard stance on giving underage kids puberty blockers. So maybe it's possible that was too much for some people on the left, to be fair.
Okay. Well, the Lance Twiggs guy that's after their adult level already, right? Lance Twiggs, when they're contemplating becoming trans, right? They were like furries first, and they became trans or some shit like that, right?
I don't know.
I still don't know
what the mindset. I don't know the mindset of people on the left, but some people are like, no, they should be allowed to do it when they know they are not the sex they are, is my guess. And like anybody interfering might piss them off. But I wouldn't know that for certain that it would go to the level of murdering the guy saying it.
Either way, it would have to be the case that these guys didn't know about Charlie Kirk touring the country with a gay dude. Because that still give them like a glimmer of like, hey, maybe we can convert this guy, talk to this guy, whatever the fuck, find a lane. Right? So it's like it wouldn't like you'd pick someone else out. You'd be like, oh, Matt Walsh, this fucking guy, and what he does, right? They'd probably like pick that guy out instead of Charlie Kirk. But whatever, okay. Let's play. Let's hear them argue more. "Quote unquote" argue. Here we go.
Well, I mean, I'll say up front, Joe Kent is extremely, extremely respected in our community. His resume is insane. For me,
not according to Harrison,
he comes out and said that's what happened. And again, it was a huge story back when it happened. And it's not the only. It's not
calling
just
him trash
Joe
too,
Kent,
so
the National Counterterrorism Center. We also had Mike Glover, another fellow
Harrison.
Green Beret, come out and say,
wait, bud, I have to turn you up because you're blasting music before. You got to say your point again?
I didn't say anything. What are you talking about?
You were shitting on Joe Kent, saying like, yeah, this guy ain't the real deal. Weren't you?
Well, it's only... he's a politician. He's no longer... He's a veteran, but he's not. I've explained this 1,000 times.
You did not explain it 1,000 times. You just said outright like, yeah, you didn't have the look.
You
don't have the look.
He used to be a veteran. Technically, he still is a veteran, but now he's a politician, and so he's going to lie his ass off. God damn, Jordan. Come on now.
I mean, I say we start a GoFundMe for Harrison. Send him the Hollywood, man. He belongs there. Come on now. Anyways, let's play. Let's keep going. Here we go.
What happened? And again, it was a huge story back when it happened. And it's not the only. It's not just Joe Kent, the National Counterterrorism Center. We also had Mike Glover, another fellow Green Beret, come out and say one of his high-up sources and friends in the CIA also told him the CIA was also blocked from investigating foreign involvement into this. At the same time, Joe Kent, Tulsi Gabbard, and the National Counterterrorism Center is. So the first thing that needs to happen is Kash Patel needs to be drugged in, subpoenaed, and questioned for why this happened. If this is true, which I'm going to assume it is because people that I respect and trust from different sources has said this is true and happened, we need answers on that. Why would the FBI have shut down other intelligence apparatuses from wanting to look into foreign involvement? It seems like that's what you would want to know. Whether it doesn't matter what country it was, China, Russia, Israel, Iran, I don't care. I'd want us to know if there was some foreign involvement in the assassination of an American citizen on our soil, right? We would want to know that. So first thing that's got to happen, Kash Patel needs to be drugged in, subpoenaed, and questioned for why that took place. Why that took place?
Not going to happen.
I don't know. It could be something as
It would just be like,
as simple as Cash
I
Patel
can't say that. I can't say that. I can't
something
say
as
that.
nefarious as a full FBI cover-up on this. I don't know. It's
Genius.
all conjecture on my part at this point. But as for Joe Kent being willing to
government
testify,
people.
yeah, if he's willing to
Brilliance
testify
of them.
that he believes that, then I think that's a credible source. And also another thing I think is interesting, and this is not, I'm not still willing to say who did it, right? I've never thought it was TPUSA personally. I did an entire 30-minute episode on the security team and broke down why I don't think they were involved. I think they're just incompetent. But I do believe there was a forward involvement. And what really...
now, that's the thing right there. When Valhalla says that, he's saying it in the sense of, like, did they take the shot, right? The security guy's doing fucking baseball signs, or the guy with the lapel fucking detonator, right? Or the fuck, right? Or the pen bullet, right?
Where the guy taking the video afterwards.
Yeah. But, man, oh man, it's hard for me not to see them. The Mikey McCoy thing is very weird, but I'm saying just on the surface, when it comes to the crime, once again, unless it's straight up somehow Tyler Robinson with a magic bullet, right? Unless that's the case, it's hard for me to exclude TPUSA from being involved in it. It's like it'd be hard to exclude the FBI or a lot of Utah state legislators and like court people, right? It'd have to be like a lot of hands involved in this, right? to make this work. Unless like up and down the entire chain, somehow there's that much incompetence up and down the entire chain. Let's say TPUSA had nothing to do with it, and they're like, "Fuck, what happened to Charlie?" And they just like blindly accept some shit, right? Accept whatever Utah or the FBI or the Trump administration gives them as answers. Let's say they just accept that. Like, that makes them like extremely incompetent. I mean, like next level extreme incompetence. Like, once again, me without knowing anything about guns, I would have questions. No matter what, I'd blatantly have questions.
That's what I was about to say. And you saying all that, we're still at fucking step one. That ain't a 30-06 round.
If I never talked to you guys or other people, I would have no idea if that was possible. Like in regards to like bullet power and all, I had no idea about guns, right? But I know enough to ask questions because, like, yo, let me make sure like everything's like tight knit and everything's like on point. Otherwise, I got questions, bro. Like,
dude, we have how many people died in World War I? All of them were shot by fucking 30-06s.
Yeah, fucking gruesome.
Like historically, like if you found 100-year-old veteran that was part of World War I, he would be like, "Nah, that ain't fucking possible."
Yeah. I mean, those guys are in the fucking meat grinder and shit in World War I and II.
Yeah, like
fighting Germans or
millions of dead bodies due to 30-06. They would fucking know. Like, it's just by looking at it, they would know millions of examples.
Yeah. And that's been the sentiment all around in regards to that thing. Like, I'd be curious, like, man, I don't know. I'd just be curious about it and look around.
For America, for the first part of deploytation in World War II, we used 30-06. 30-8s. They're same fucking round. It's a 30 caliber. It just depends on the year. 06 or 08.
Yeah. Well, it's like, once again, if Tyler Robinson was not the guy with the magic bullet, man, the way that TPUSA has handled this, there's no way to not look at without them being involved in it. If it's a conspiracy, like I can't see a way around it. I really can't. The way they moved on so fast, the way they've like worked so hard to debunk other people from thinking something, like there's no way. Like, that is too gross of incompetence for it to be incompetence. You know, it's more of like purposely like ignoring certain things. But all right, here we go.
Really is making me suspicious right now is the fact that it's the new war in Iran. And then we look back at Charlie's actual ideology on war with Iran, and she was incredibly anti-war in Iran. I've shown 15 different clips of that, so much so that he went in and tried to get Donald Trump to stop the first 12-day war. Joe Kent even confirmed that in the Oval Office.
I think he, once again, in words and PR words, once again, maybe Charlie could have a personal, like, I don't think personal. I think it's more of crowd control. Like, hey, these guys are going to be really pissed if we go to war with Iran. So we'll say things out loud, right? And I'll tell the White House, like, hey, White House, listen, people will be pissed if this happens, but don't worry, I support you no matter what. That's what I think Charlie Kirk's stance actually is. That's what I think it actually is. Which is why when Trump did the one bomb and I'm out of here thing in the 12-day war, or well, it wasn't just one bomb, but like a short stint of bombing and I'm out of here.
One mission. Yeah, one single mission for one single purpose.
Yeah, apparently Charlie was out there celebrating that. Look what our boys can do. See that? We're amazing. It's like, once again, trying to sell that was a good thing, even though it was obviously a precursor for other events to happen later on. Because you can't just bomb a couple things, but yeah, we destroyed their whole thing. It's all gone now. It doesn't make any sense at all in reality, but don't worry, Charlie went out there and sold it anyways. Right?
Yeah, it's like saying, I don't trust you, so let me cut off your thumb and we're good, right?
It's just like, it's nonsensical, but Charlie was there as a PR guy for the White House, let's be honest. But this is a new narrative that they're going to sell because, what's the saying? The dead don't speak. But there it is. He can't speak for himself right now, so others will do it for him. And there's all 10 million different versions of what Charlie Kirk apparently believes and what he would say right now. Apparently. But whatever. All right, here we go.
Office together. It's very, very suspicious to me that Charlie was killed and everyone else who has vocally gone and to Trump to try to get him to stop the wars in Iran. Tucker Carlson was immediately smeared. They tried to run him as a foreign agent through Iran. Joe Kent comes out in resistance to this, immediately smear campaign. So I'm starting to wonder why every single person who has a big voice that comes out against the war in Iran is sort of trying to be, censored, deplatformed, or, disappearing completely. I think it's getting very, very suspicious to me because obviously this war is super, super unpopular with the American people. And honestly, with Charlie Kirk, you can't deny Charlie Kirk. If Charlie Kirk was vocally against this war right now, it would be a massive, massive problem.
Oh, he called me a couple times, but once.
Okay. I think Tucker would be more of a massive problem because Tucker's been more, but he's already saying it, right? But he's not saying it. He's saying it in a way that protects Trump, which is what, at best, Charlie would probably, at best, protect Trump, right? But yeah, whatever. All right. Here we go. It's just like, I think there's a whole misdiagnosis thing happening here. And you end up missing out on the actual story that's happening or that's unfolding, where it's like, hey, guys, these people that occupy the government in America are probably worse than you were thinking the entire time. Let's be real. Two of these guys served right underneath that one of these administrations for this government. Right? I'm not a person that blames government in general. It's more of like, consistently, these certain individuals occupy these spaces, and they get guys like this to go out there and do their fucking dirty work for them, as they sip champagne and laugh about it. It's like, it is what it is. It is what it is. But also, God.
I just find it. I'm wondering how Alex Jones is going to twist his response to what Valhalla just said.
Well,
it's going to be fucking crazy.
Well, we already know Alex is saying. He's saying, well, Trump is, he's right. His mind's going, his brain's going, he has heart problems. That's why his mind's going, and and he's being tricked because he's not functioning normally. He's out of his mind right now, and he's being taken advantage of by Bibi Netanyahu and shit like that. That's where Alex is right now. But I'm curious about this Gary Melton guy, right? I think this might be like a pretty good IQ test in regards to like his idea of Iran. If he says, "Yeah, this is a good thing what we're doing here," if he like does actually like the party line, okay, we know. Okay, he's doing the thing. Okay, we get it now. Got it. But all right, let's find out if Gary Melton even answers that. Here we go.
Keep pressure on Epstein. Good job. Keep pressure on Iran. We got to stop this, which he was right. And now Joe Kent said he told him that.
I'm sorry. Can you back up again?
A couple times, but once. Oh, keep pressure on Epstein. Good job. Keep pressure.
He's saying Charlie said that?
People.
Joe Kent.
Charlie Kirk, you can't deny Charlie Kirk. If Charlie Kirk was vocally against this war right now, it would be a massive problem.
He called me a couple times, but once.
Charlie.
Keep pressure on Epstein. Good job. Keep pressure on Iran. We got to stop this, which he was right.
Charlie went on his show to say, leave the Epstein stuff alone. Now,
but no, he called Alex privately and said something different.
Oh, okay. What purpose would that serve? What purpose would that serve?
Alex Jones gets to tell you about it 6 months after he's dead. Duh.
I mean, I'm sorry, Nate. Once again, I leave room for possibly this guy means well. I hope he does. I don't know, but I hope he does. But Charlie is not the thing you guys are making him out to be. I'm sorry, bro. Charlie's not that guy, bro. I get it. He died, so you want to hold him up like he's Tupac. Like Tupac wasn't stomping someone out in Vegas the night before he died or the night of he died, right? It's like, come on. I get you want to like rewrite who the guy is, but like, come on. Like, think about it. Be real. Look at the actual past events. Look at the things the guy has said and acted on and while he was alive. And it's just, to me, it's like, it's crazy.
No, but he called me once, bro. He called me once and he said, you know what I say publicly is fucking wrong. Really, I'm telling Trump in the background that he should keep digging into this Epstein stuff, and he's against the Iran war. But publicly he's good with it.
If I die, watch this. If I die, Duff's gonna be like, yeah, Jordan called me the night before. He's like, listen, Metric sucks ass. Jay-Z's the Illuminati, and
bro. And Bernie Sanders paid you $62,000 for 3 months worth of work.
I spilled my whole life story to Dubster. After
Yep.
right before I died, I left him a bunch of text messages. But all right, here we go.
And now Joe Kent said he told him that in the Oval Office, and then Mark Levin says he's a liar. Bongino says he's a liar with no proof. They were there. I told people they were at the meetings. So what is your response, Gary Melton, overall? What do you think is happening here?
Yeah, look, I'm completely open to the idea that there's foreign influence. As a matter of fact, when you look at the SLC Trans Gun Club, the leader of that is an Iranian.
He's doing the thing.
Motherfucker, that actually exists, and it's probably nowhere near Utah.
He's doing the thing,
find
bro.
some random shit. See, there is Trans Gun Club, so Transtifa.
So, isn't that what they use to take the rights guns away? Right? Isn't that look, a group over here exists, right? So thus, we need to take everyone's guns away.
Pam Bondi supports? Pam Bondi supports, if someone says you're crazy, we can take your gun away. The red flag laws. And, like, the rights against that, and that was one of the things, like, fuck, why is Pam Bondi the DA?
Well, don't worry about her. She's gone now. Don't worry. You have Todd Blanche to worry about now. The Epstein protector.
Know nothing about him.
Yeah, yes, you do. Yes, you do. We listened to who interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell with those shitty fucking questions and those leading questions.
Oh shit, him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're quite aware of Todd Blanche.
Okay.
Although he takes less blame because he's not Pam Bondi, right? But he's still doing like weird shit in the background. He's not going to prosecute Epstein stuff. In fact, he's been more protective of it than even Pam Bondi has been. Right? So, like, it is what it is. Well, he's interim right now, so maybe someone else replaces him. But
90 days.
Right now, he is the guy. He is the guy right now. But And I'm sure there'll be a whole fucking confirmation, fucking all that shit.
It's just a shuffle, seeing who's gonna be somebody that the people don't pay attention to.
Hey, we're busy with Iran right now, so but don't worry, it'll end in 2 to 3 weeks. So then we'll be freed up to go back to Epstein in 2 to 3 weeks.
No, it's because Trump's not confident he'll retain the House, so he needs somebody in there that won't fold when the Democrats go after Trump again with impeachment stuff.
Okay, so he actually so he grabbed his
defensive.
He grabbed his literal personal lawyer to be the new HE.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, here we go.
Transfers.
Good. All right.
I don't remember.
All right, here we go. Here's more about the trans gun team, pro-gun trans people. Here we go.
That was definitely pushing a lot of violent rhetoric, to say the least. Now, they are reporting that is being investigated. There's multiple reports on that. Like, I got a different take on the war, and I got a different take on Joe Kent personally. But look, I want all of this stuff investigated.
You just like
what
Joe
I
Kent.
don't like is this idea that people are intentionally, in my perspective, intentionally trying to say that Tyler Robinson didn't do this. I think there's so much overwhelming evidence that says that Tyler Robinson is the killer. Outside of that, I agree with a lot of people. Like, I think Lance Twiggs was involved for sure. I think we definitely need to look into the different.
This guy's like a spook or something, man. He speaks for
trans
the
activists in the area. We have social media posts that are actually going and predicting Charlie's death. That hasn't been looked into. At least it may be being looked into by the FBI. I don't know, or Utah. But what I can tell you is, what I see time and time again, this is something that we've all talked about going back to December, is that there does seem to be a psyop. Is like, hey, don't pay attention to this. I want you to pay attention to Egyptian planes, to Mitch Snow, to this plan down in Fort Huachuca, and none of that makes sense to me. And
Candace Owens.
Okay, bring up Candace Owens, but you're not talking to Candace Owens. The guy you're talking to has tried or has debunked that story as well. But here's the thing,
Huachuca?
Nate. If you mean well, just like the same thing I would say to Dave Smith, who I leave once again. I hear all the shit about him. I hear why he could be sus. I leave him for him being sus for sure. Pause. Whatever. But at some moment, you have to look at this like, man, is this guy a liar? The way he's like subverting conversations and shit like that. Is this guy a liar? I don't think Nate can go there mentally. Unfortunately. Thus, I have to say it. Like, man, is this guy a fucking liar? Maybe look at that. Maybe consider it. I don't know. Because if you're talking to a liar, like, it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how good your argument is. They'll just lie to make themselves sound correct and to make you sound wrong. No matter what, like, it is what it is.
He's agreeing with him.
Well, he brought it to that. The Gary Melton guy. The Gary Melton guy brought it to an area where they can agree on, so where no one's addressing like, wait a minute, are you lying, my man? But all right, let's continue. Here we go.
We've debunked a lot of those things, but like the idea to me that Lance
and he's on TRD
didn't take the shot.
Unfortunately,
I think that's hard for me to reconcile.
Popcorn muscles.
I am curious, just off the top of your head.
Hold on, rewind that.
Nate,
5 seconds.
You said curious, Robinson, like the idea to me that Lance Tyler Robinson didn't take the shot. I think that's hard for me to reconcile. I am curious, just off the top of your head.
Okay.
You said
Anyways, next topic.
That
that's your opinion.
You felt this was a sophisticated conspiracy. And what I can't reconcile with that is like, okay, we have this very sophisticated conspiracy. Let's say the U.S. military, Israel's involved, the French Foreign Legion, whoever's involved, and they plan this down to a T. And it's so sophisticated and so successful that they get away, that they pull off the head, they get away. And like the one thing that they screw up is, we shot him with 2 or whatever. We shot him with a different caliber, but we pinned the patsy with a 30-06. That's the thing that I can't reconcile and doesn't make sense to me. I just don't think that even if you and I were planning this operation, like we wouldn't miss that detail. That's kind of a doozy.
Let me explain to the robot here. Listen, if you grab shit from, like, let's say you have someone who's a perfect mark for this situation, right? Why wouldn't you grab like things that belong to that mark? Let's grab a screwdriver. Let's grab his towel. Let's grab his rifle, his grandpa's rifle he has. Why wouldn't you do that? If that's your mark. The person to take like all the fucking patsy. Why wouldn't you do that? And be like, hey, people are too stupid. They won't recognize it anyways. We'll do that and get away with it. Because they've probably been doing that for years. Let's be honest. When it comes to higher, like quote unquote, higher level government operations, if they exist, they've probably been doing that for a very long time where it worked. But these people are robots and dumb, so thus they think it's going to work again. It actually might work again. Actually, it might work again. Honestly, in the Tyler Robertson case. My God.
So my problem with what you just said was, don't believe this conspiracy that the government got this patsy to fake the shooting of him, but believe this conspiracy that the guy can shoot him with a gun that doesn't match the bullet fucking frame, like the bullet type.
Well, once again, he will twist and turn and do backflips in regards to like well, it's inconclusive, so it could be his gun. So we should stay there. Like what?
Don't believe in the possibility of conspiracies, but believe in magic. Like
Fair
that's
enough.
what he said to me.
Fair enough. Now, once again, I want to kind of hear them on Iran. I want to hear these takes because that to me is another IQ test. Now, I already think I understand what Nate or Valhalla VFT is going to say. But this Gary Melton guy, I wonder if he's like hardcore in favor of like, yeah, what we're doing in Iran, it works. It's a good thing. I'm very curious. Or if he does the like Alex Jones stuff, where you like make excuses or protection narratives for the White House, and I'm curious what is said there because to me that is a pretty good IQ test at this point. Pretty good. Once again, there's a lot of people that lived through the Iraq War, or if you're younger, learned about it later on. Like I had to learn about it like more so later on than in the moment, right? For me personally, I was a teenager, but still, it's like I was an idiot.
Which one?
The second Iraq
We've
War.
had several.
I know the second Iraq
Second
War.
one.
The second
I
Gulf War.
I got to see some of the tail end of that. That was pretty fun. I tapped my cheeks on Kuwait. Fun.
No, that's the first Gulf War. The second one is 2003. The first
I'm
one
not
is
that old, you son of a bitch.
The first one is George H.W. Bush. But I was a dummy. Like I didn't know anything about anything, so that's why it was around when I was alive, but I didn't know anything about it. But later on, I look back, just like a lot of young people are doing, have done since, right? They look backwards at it, like, hey, what the fuck was this? This is bad, right? So there's a lot of people against that shit. A lot of information that people know now, especially with the internet and stuff like that. And I'm curious if this guy will still just tote the fucking party line and sell it to the audience, to whoever. But let's find out. Here we go. They're still doing Charlie right now, but
yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying there. But as for
hey, I think he's a liar, Dave.
Sophisticated, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's professional involvement. Professional involvement could be one Mossad operative that runs this and helps Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs set all this up. And again, I'm not staking my claim that there is a second shooter. My thing is, again, the 30-06 doesn't make sense. Could you say, and I've never seen Tyler Robinson with the 30-06, not going to the roof, not leaving, right? So if you could,
it's a
could
movie
it be Tyler
poster.
Robinson
It
plants
is
that gun.
Mark
If
Wahlberg.
He's super sophisticated. He plants that gun somewhere else.
Yeah,
and uses it as a collapse
what's wrong with Infowars? What is wrong with them over there? Who's putting those clips up?
You never thought of this? Well, there's a whole movie about it, bro.
Yeah. Why a Marky Mark fucking movie?
Oh, hold on. What's the plot of the movie? The professional shooter gets framed.
Yeah. But he's also so good. He wins at the end of the day. He wins the girl.
Right.
All right, here we go.
Go to the roof with, takes a shot there. Sure, I don't know. I don't have all the answers to that. But as for that, this has to be some super sophisticated thing. First of all, Tyler Robinson got away. So for us to pretend like from the scene, for us and that is not necessarily the easiest thing ever to do. Clean infill, clean exfil, takes the shot, kills the killer, gets out, and the only reason he gets caught is, because the family friend, Boy Scout leader, fellow sheriff recognizes him in the picture and convinces Tyler Robinson to turn himself in.
They might have moved it to a cardboard box.
That's later. So yeah,
bro, that's like I just bought the gun kind of package.
I would disagree with that. That's not actually what happened according to the charging documents. According to
also Nate, you're gonna have to include once again the U.S. government, the FBI, the Utah State, the governor at the very least, right? Maybe it actually goes down to the prosecution. Who knows? But the idea of this Tyler Robinson guy having help or not even doing it himself requires a lot of hands to protect that. It isn't just like one operative. All right, man, do this. We'll help you out. Do this, then do this. Like you need actual help from the FBI, right? In the way they botched everything up. You need people to say, shut up about this. Hey, don't talk about this fucking thing. Leave it alone. Let's not talk about this, right? Shout out to TPUSA and other government people, right? Like there's a lot of hands that would have to be involved just for the narrative management of this. You might need a guy you're debating right now, Nate. You might need that guy too. I'm just saying. But all right, let's play. Here we go.
That's later. So yeah, it is a little bit sophisticated to pull off an assassination like this.
I would disagree with that. That's not actually what happened according to the charging documents. According to the only person
according to Sheriff Nate Broxby, who, by the way, Gary, I'm sure you're aware, just resigned from his position about 2 hours after this news story.
I was about to say, what's that resignation all about? That looks really bad.
Hold on. You can go back and pull up Nate Broxby literally saying on film in a press conference, debunking Tyler Robinson's family from turning himself in and saying, my personal friend who used to be a sheriff for 20 years was the one who used to be Tyler Robinson's Boy Scout leader, recognized him from the picture. He's the one that contacted the family. He's the one that went over to Tyler Robinson's house and convinced Tyler Robinson to turn himself in. The sheriff said that. The same sheriff, Sheriff Nate Brooksby, who was in charge of this whole thing, who has now just resigned yesterday.
Well, they're gonna.
I didn't know that.
Pause.
I didn't know that.
That's full. Yeah, that's full narrative change from the claim that Dad turned him in.
No, we knew that already. No, we knew that already.
So, but no, another sheriff went over and talked to him because he knew him from Boy Scouts.
The idea I heard before was that this guy was a family friend, I guess through the church, and he told. This is the story I heard. It could be absolutely wrong. Family friend from the church went over there and said, "Hey, man, would you rather cops kick your door in and shoot you, potentially, possibly, or would you rather just turn yourself in? And don't worry, I'll be helping you out. I'll protect you, right? I'll make sure they know because I know these guys. I was a fucking detective for 20 years, or whatever the fuck he was, right? So thus, I can protect you by saying,
what
hey,
I think he just said.
You good?
What I think he just said was Sheriff Nate Broxley is reporting that another sheriff was that guy you're talking about. Not just a detective, another sheriff.
Okay, well, once again, I'm saying the story I heard, this is months ago, was that the guy was actually, I think this is from Candace Owens, believe it or not. The story was that this guy was a detective for many years that knew the sheriff, the sheriff that's there now, or I guess resigned as of a couple days ago. Yeah, okay. I didn't know any of that. I'm lost now. Let's
So, but to claim it's a separate sheriff that said turn yourself in to this county where Nate Broxley is the sheriff.
Yeah.
That does give credibility to the scenario if there's any truth to that.
I mean, well, the
versus
we heard the speech.
versus any other story we've heard, just from his position, sheriff.
Okay. Well, we saw the sheriff guy do a whole, press conference saying, "Yeah, I knew the guy that helped turn the kid over, right? Turn him in. Like he's a veteran. Like he's a veteran of this police department. We know this guy. Yada yada yada. Right? So we knew that, but I didn't know like this guy, I guess, quit a couple days ago or whatever. Okay.
2 hours after he made that statement about it being this person went to Tyler Robinson's house and convinced him to turn himself in. After he said that, he resigned.
No. After they found out the bullet fragments didn't match or were inconclusive, right? I think that's what he's saying. Let's hear it again. Here we go.
He was the one.
That looks really bad.
Hold on. You can go back and pull up Nate Broxby literally saying on film in a press conference, debunking Tyler Robinson's family from turning himself in and saying, my personal friend who used to be a sheriff for 20 years was the one who used to be Tyler Robinson's Boy Scout leader, recognized him from the picture. He's the one that contacted the family. He's the one that went over to Tyler Robinson's house and convinced Tyler Robinson to turn himself in. The sheriff said that. The same sheriff, Sheriff Nate Brooksby, who was in charge of this whole thing, who has now just resigned yesterday.
Well, they're going to have a real problem when they get the parents on the stand if that's the case, because I'm just going to...
He said that in a press conference, Gary. That was the sheriff. That's from the sheriff.
This guy right here. Yep.
What I'm saying is that what we have in the charging documents is that Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him...
Right, but the charging documents were put out before this press conference.
Okay.
Charging documents were put out, 6 days after?
I mean, both things can be true is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
both things
but I'm saying that sheriff said that's not, that his parents did not turn him in. It was this sheriff's personal friend who was a sheriff for 20 years, I forget his name, who was the one that recognized him from being Tyler Robinson's Boy Scout leader. And he's the one that contacted the family. He's the one that went over and convinced Tyler Robinson, it's better for you to turn yourself in than for them to come raid your house and potentially fucking kill you. That's what.
Okay, like literally.
And that portion is stated in the charging documents. What I'm saying is that two things can absolutely be true. I do think that he helped with coordinating him being turned in. I think all that's true, but I reject the idea that his parents didn't recognize him. I reject the idea.
What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts real quick? Because I mean, you got to be able to explain this. Why would?
All right, go ahead. I want to hear the follow up there, but
Melton, Gary Melton.
Yeah.
He is rejecting the fact that Dad did not turn in his son.
No, that the parents didn't recognize him. Is what I think what he said. Yeah.
That's what he said, but I'm concluding that what he means is Dad. He wants that story
He's
to stay
narrative
in the
implying for sure. Like,
he wants that story to stay that Dad turned him in for, I'm guessing, reasons.
Yeah, it's starting to look a little weird there, right? Looking a little weird. I'll say that. But all right. I want to hear Nate's follow up for that. Here we go.
True, but I reject the idea that his parents didn't recognize him. I reject the idea.
What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts, real quick? Because I mean, you got to be able to explain this. Why would the head sheriff on part of the investigation resign about 2 hours after the report came out that the ballistics don't match the ATF? That's too.
I have no idea.
What, the coincidence on that?
I have no idea. He may have a completely logical explanation. What I'm not going to do is take a void of information.
And there's the moment right there. Let me see his face again. Huh?
Completely logical explanation. What I'm not going to do is take a.
Bro, he would have been better.
Wait.
A void of information.
Nate's like, come on, dude. Nate's like, come on, dude.
I could say that better. I could say this sheriff had other cases that maybe that's the problem. And that would sound better. That would sound better if I said that than what he just said.
Wait, I need a thumbnail. Wait.
They have a completely logical explanation. What I'm not going to do.
He's like, come on, son. Yo, come on, son.
How is like the image in the back of my head is like fucking when George like fucking laughing.
I'm sorry.
He's like he's being autistic and rocking back and forth.
I am actually. I actually am.
Like,
that's funny.
Let's go into it.
If this chair wasn't the way this chair is, I'd probably fall backwards when I do that, bro. I kid you not. I kid you not.
I just thought, I was like, yeah, that reminds me of yeah, I'm autistic too, so I do the same shit.
Wait, you call me autistic? How dare you?
Yeah, you're autistic, dude. If you do that, you're like, and then you
I'm
rock it back,
Jordan.
yeah.
Okay, I'm Jordan.
That's a hell of a fucking, that's coordination there, baby. That's coordination.
Whatever. Anyways, this is the moment that Dave Smith had when he was arguing with Douglas Murray, where he's like, yeah, man, they're killing killing a bunch of children and women here in Gaza. They're killing like all these people. And Douglas Murray's like, well, that's just war. Or wait, actually, I fucked it up. Dave Smith was like, there's like a massacre happening there. And Douglas Murray, that is just war. That's what war is. And he has the look on his face like, for real? Like, come on, man. Like, really? And that is Nate's face right now. He's like, come on, son. Like, for real? You fuck with me, man? And you should call that out. Don't just give facial expressions. Be like, yo, are you a liar, man? You don't have to say it as mean as I say it. But I would ask the question, because it is important. How do you have debates if someone's just going to lie to you? There's no debate then. It's just, you're just combating lies, essentially. Which is important too, but like, I could see you thinking it, Nate, so why not say what you think? Why not say it? But yeah, come on, man. Like, not even this? You can't give me this? Whatever.
No, bro, he could have got caught with money laundering the week before. See, that would have been a fucking better answer.
He's at the gun range in a furry outfit 2 days before, and
I could just make something up, man. He's like, we found out he was the leader of the Crips.
Listen, full of shit artist. Once again, I don't know if this guy's a full shit artist, to be fair, but he smells like one. He smells like one.
He's trying to get his fucking rings.
He smells like a full shit artist, and if you're that, you are amongst the dumbest on planet Earth. I kid you not. People think these guys are like fucking slick and clever. Like, fuck out of here. These people are fucking stupid. They are dumb people. They're dumb, and there's no fucking backbone driving them, right? No righteous or spiritual backbone driving them. Thus, they show themselves. God?
This guy wants me to believe that Tyler Robinson shot this guy, took his gun apart, put it in his backpack, jumped off 2.5-story fucking building, ran the fuck away, went to Dairy Queen, got some fucking ice cream, confessed to the entire murder on text message, then brag about it on Discord, and then fucking go to a fucking steakhouse on his way to his grandma's house.
That's a lot of Canazones there. But you still missed some things here. Listen, Tyler took the shot.
Of course I did. There was so much.
Tyler took the shot. He grabbed his screwdriver, took the gun apart, forgot the screwdriver, like left it there by accident, put it in his book bag that clearly that gun would fit in there, obviously. Jump off the rooftop, run to the woods, wrap the gun in a towel, leave it next to a tree, and maybe a cardboard box too, I don't know. Then ran from there and it's like limped through a neighborhood.
I could stop you. I could stop you halfway through the thought. Think about putting a pipe in a backpack, then jumping off a 2.5-story building. What would that pipe do to you if you fucking landed on it in any sort of kinda? It either pierced through you, or it would fucking, like, if you landed on it, and it, just like the cylinder part, not like to where it impales you, it would still hurt like fucking hell. Who would want to fucking do that?
They explain it as the most sloppiest operation of all time, but also like the most intelligent operation of all time. Like the people that are in support of like the official thing we got from a mixture of the FBI and the Utah state people, right? Like they want it like either it's a mixture of the dumbest operation and the smartest of all time, because somehow he has made the situation cloudy as fuck. We don't know what's going on here exactly, apparently, but also, Jesus Christ, what a fucking evil genius. to be able to pull this off.
And he's also, they believe at the same time, like, homosexuals have, like, weakness in their, like, soul.
The trans mental illness that drives them to want to kill people.
But they got the balls of steel being 120 fucking pounds and a fucking twig in the wind. And they'll do anything and everything to be like the most hardcore murderer ever.
I mean,
like, fuck it. There's 3,000 witnesses around. I'm gonna fucking take them out.
But yeah, but also try to get away with it.
You're right. Well, if one of them catches me and slaps me, I'm going down. But I'm the toughest motherfucker around, so it doesn't matter.
All right, here's my plan. Here's my plan to get away with this. All right, I'll take the shot, then I'll jump 20 feet to the fucking ground. I'll run, but then if I see cars like start walking, then I'll start running again to the woods, drop the gun off there, and then drive away to Dairy Queen, and then like
the cardboard box that I got it. Like what? Like that is I just got it from Walmart kind of box.
It makes no fucking sense, dude. At all. And thus my thumbnail. Nate's face right there is like, for real. Anyways, let's hear. I do want to hear like their more so the Gary Melton guys Iran stance. Here we go. Actually, let me reset real quick. All right. All right, here we go.
You know what we should do?
Okay.
What we should do, YellBro?
What's that?
We should fucking watch some Austin Powers.
Austin Powers? How dare you?
Yes, Austin Powers.
I watched Austin Powers 2, I think like 10 times in a row when I was a kid. Right before like WrestleMania, I think. Or before a wrestling pay-per-view. I'm like, because a pay-per-view, they used to like just play the same movie over and over and over again. And Austin Powers was playing, so I watched it just like a little kid, just like laugh my ass off somehow resetting my brain each run through of the movie and then laughing each time again until wrestling came on. But I don't know if I could do that now. I don't know.
Just saying.
Fair enough. Anyways. All right, here we go.
There are some times I feel like Austin Powers with
void
this
of
truck. So I can.
You lost your mojo? Is that what it is?
No, you know the fucking golf cart scene where he's stuck? That's how I feel with the truck sometimes.
Awkward humor.
Look at him. Yeah.
Anyways, here we go.
Information and just fill it with whatever I want to. I mean,
I get it.
like to hear.
I'm just saying you can't tell me that's not bizarre.
It is bizarre. A lot of things about this have been bizarre.
Yeah, well, that's fair. That's true.
Like a 30-06
not shooting
through somebody's neck.
I mean, look, it is. Look, I think there's some very good plausible explanations for that, and we're going to find out. I think we're going to find out when. To me, this is resting on all the things being alleged are essentially going to be answered once we get the parents on the stand, as far as I'm concerned, because they're going to confirm
okay,
or
we'll
deny.
See. Let's shift yours. Now we have left.
Wreck their shit.
Like 30 minutes left. Both of you, Gary, take it or Nate, take it.
Kirk's going to testify to.
What do you make of Trump and Iran? And we've had victory. Oh, they're making a deal. They're not. Just constant, stories changing. No missiles are hitting Israel. Tons are getting.
Just want to hear a little bit.
The rest of thousands of journalists in the Middle East reporting on it. What do you guys as war fighters think of this situation?
You want me to go first here? Me personally, I'm just super ideologically against any more wars for American blood for sand and oil. Period. Just full stop. There's nothing you can tell me that's going to convince me that we need to be spending hundreds of billions of dollars and spending U.S. service members' lives for this war in Iran. You're not going to convince me of that, and you're not going to convince the majority of the American people of that. The other thing, and I think this is just in my personal opinion, I'm not going to get into, people are talking about who's winning. The United States winning? Is Iran winning? Who's winning? To me, everybody's losing. And the world's losing, Iran's losing, the United States is losing. And so to me, I just want us the fuck out of the conflict.
And so is Israel. they're losing to not the government. Right? For the governments go, U.S. is winning, Israel's winning, Gulf nations are winning, European countries are winning too. They can say whatever the fuck they want, but let's be honest. Once the dust clears, they'll be like, okay, well, let's invest in this area. Opportunities they didn't have before. If the U.S. does a full-blown, U.S. and other countries do a full-blown like steamrolling of Iran, they'll win too. Just like Syria was a win for these guys. But whatever. Okay, I get what he's saying now. Here we go.
Is Iran winning? Who's winning? To me, everybody's losing. And the world's
I
losing,
agree.
Iran's losing, the United States is losing. And so to me, I just want us the fuck out of the conflict. I don't care if it means Donald Trump just comes out, declares victory, leaves, we leave. If we do that, I think it's going to be a huge problem now with the Strait of Hormuz, because
you can't leave.
Iran most likely is just going to have full control over the Strait now. And if you didn't know, they're charging $2 million per oil tanker to get through the Strait right now. If you don't know what that's going to equate to year over year, it's $80 billion in new revenue to Iran that they didn't have beforehand. And if you don't know about Iran's national defense budget is only $10 billion. So we're about to just 8x their defense budget for new money. And then also the global oil prices, global oil commodities aren't coming back down if we just leave. So we're in a rock and a hard place.
And Trump says he may just leave it to the Middle East to fix.
In which they're not going to be able to fix. All they're going to do is this is just going to drive everybody to bricks. If you think about all our Asian allies, this is another thing that pisses me off. All our Asian allies, this isn't affecting us nearly as much as it is Australia. And I was in first group. Gary was in first group. I mean, this is fucking our allies in Philippines and Australia and Korea and Japan. And it's not China, right? Because China's still free-flowing the oil. I mean, we already have the Philippines just announced that they're going into massive restrictions, lockdowns on oil. Australia is announcing that as well. So we're screwing the entire world. We're screwing all of our allies. And for me, again, I think this is everybody is losing. So let's figure it out and get the hell out of this thing. Because to me, there's no
BlackRock's winning because they want a world. They want a world depression.
Right. There is some winners, but it's not the American people, and it's not the
that's
average
better.
people around the world. I can tell you that.
That's the globalists doubled their.
That's better, and they should say it that way. I really do believe that they should say it that way. But yeah, America or Americans are not winning, but individuals that would call themselves American, they are winning. Conflict is good. It's good business. It's good business. But we don't hear that enough, I don't think. In words, at least. But yeah. All right. Here we go.
Money. Well, we lost 60% of our assets. Your take on that, Gary?
Yeah, look, I support the war as long as it's going to be executed correctly. I think we've kicked this can way too far down the road. I think this is a responsible approach to what's going on. We're going to see how it turns out. What I am against, just like Nate and everybody else, is some unending war where it's going to be an occupation. We're not going to see that. I don't think we're going to see that. But the idea that we can just continue to let Iran be the #1 state sponsored of terror all over the world and allow them to become armed with nuclear weapons. I mean, we already see that they actually had a much more advanced intermediate ballistic missiles than they admitted to and that we even knew about. So there was an information gap, an intelligence gap that was huge in that.
No, I know they're way more.
Okay.
Then how did I know about it?
Well,
whatever. Go ahead, make your points.
My point is, I think this guy's that. To me, solidifies he failed the IQ test. This guy's a liar, probably. He's probably most likely a straight up. What did the kid say? Deep state liar. He's in that class, I think.
Yep.
I think it's obvious too. I leave room for humans and humanity for people to be different, but I think it's patently obvious. His answer to all that in regards to Iran. Once again. He'll say short, as long as we're not there for, forever. It's like, well, what is forever? Right? It is 10 years from now. Well, it could have been 20 years. So, we ended in 10 years. So, good. We did good. We had an objective. We accomplished it. It could be 2 years from now. Whatever. It's always just, once again, what's the idea of moving the goalpost? But that sounds too... Sorry, it sounds too lame compared to what we're actually witnessing. which is a lack of humanity, lack of empathy, lack of conscience, lack of fucking righteousness. Just automatons telling us, "Don't worry, guys, it'll be over soon. We have an objective. We're gonna accomplish our objectives. Everything will be fine." I'm like, fuck. Someone's got to call you a liar. Sorry, someone has to do it. Alex won't do it, and Nate will be too polite and not do it himself. But he should. Not for the sake of not for the sake of owning this guy or destroying him in a debate. The point is to be like as truthful as possible. In every little fucking fiber, my guess, or hopefully for Nate, he sees that. Like, wait a minute, I've heard these fucking talking points 10,000 times already from different people. Which makes you know, like, that makes you guarantee, like, that's a fucking lie, isn't it? The same guys conducting the war are telling me the same things that this guy's telling me that's supposed to be independent from them, right? He's supposed to be like some random content creator that believes what he believes, right? But what's he doing? He's repeating the narratives from the fucking White House. That should be enough for you to be like, yo, him, he's doing the thing. That guy right there, he's doing the thing. But, you know, it's just going to bubble up until something really bad happens. It's unfortunate. But that seems to be the way humans want to handle their problems. Wait for things to bubble up, then act on it. And it's not without any learning, no rites of passage. Just, I feel bad about something, let me do something about it. And it ends up in tragedy. Again and again. But go ahead, Dubster. Or if you're
Hold on, I think I'm T9ing.
You're C9ing? What's that?
Hello?
Oh, T-painting?
T9, T-pain. Yeah.
No, you sound, I hear you, clearly.
Okay, so the thing I noticed in what he said was, we didn't know how many missiles they had. Then how did I know it? And, like, it's 100,000 is what's been told to the world. That's what they have, 100,000 ballistic missiles. Not intercontinental, just ballistic missiles. And then they got secret shit that they haven't even revealed yet. They may have revealed some of this, and I'm just not aware of it because I've been following this war like I've followed previous wars. But also, since Obama's time, our government at the general's level have told the public they ran simulations for a war with Iran. That simulation determined that it would be at best a Pyrrhic war for us, meaning we'd win, but we lost, really, because of everything it cost us and like what the actual effect of tearing up the region would be. And they knew not to do it, like, because of the simulation. The simulation revealed to them, we don't got what we need to actually fucking do this, so we shouldn't do it. They've known that since like 2012 or something. And they told the public.
I did not know that.
And then you're selectively fucking choosing to ignore it under Trump.
So okay, I didn't know that. They ran simulations of how that war would play out. Did that spur the deal?
They basically made a video game. They basically made a video game of all of our assets versus all of their assets, and they played it a million fucking times to see what they could do. And the best they could ever come up with at the time, when they didn't even have as much technology as they have now, we came out at best a Pyrrhic victory.
If you have like sources or video, something about that, like, please link that to me. I've never heard that before, honestly.
Okay. I'd have to find it, but yeah, it's out there. It's been out there since 2012, and I might be wrong on that. It might be 2008, and we just started hearing about it in 2012. It was done by generals.
Let me ask you: Did that spur the deal, the Obama deal with Iran, or it's like as far as you know? Yeah. Okay.
It could have been fuck, we can't win. We need to negotiate.
If that's all like legit, That is super interesting. I didn't know that at all. I mean, that kind of kills the Obama just wants world peace. That's why he did the, the JCPOA, right? He wants world peace. That's why he did it. That kind of kills that, I think. If it actually like all applies, right? That's interesting. That's very interesting.
And I don't remember the year, but I remember listening to, like, it's been a fucking thing in like alternative news just talking about this because they made it public. It was like an official report saying, "Look, we can't fucking win, so we're not gonna do this."
I figured things like that were happening in regards to like every country. I mean, like what we're seeing from Iran is not accidental, right? It's not out of nowhere. Like these guys have considered the idea of being attacked and like, what do we do about it, right? That has already been thought of from their generals to their politicians to all of it, right? But still, when you have like an actual like, hey, we're saying this right now, like, hey, here's the war game we played. It doesn't look too good. Like if that's like an actual thing, like documented, I'd love to see that. I really would. I had no clue about that.
Well, we didn't get to see it. We get to see the like general report saying like it's not good. We did this so many times. The best was a winning loss called a Pyrrhic victory.
Called Iraq, Afghanistan. Yeah, but whatever you want to pick out.
No, worse than that. Like the
global economy.
It was always
thing, yeah.
Yeah, and the amount of fucking deaths that will come from it.
Yeah.
The destabilization of the world, not just the territory, the area. That was all calculated into it.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking interesting. If you find something like, or a video or a document, whatever, an article, please send that my way. I am very curious. But let's get back to this fucking. I want to call him an idiot. I mean, he is an idiot, but like, he might be a liar first and foremost, which is stupid too. But let's hear more from this. Here we go.
More advanced they were telling them, but let me ask you this then.
Interesting, man.
Yeah. What about the overall issue of the strait being closed kills the recovery with an inflation? That's mathematics. That's a guarantee. And then the globalists get what they want by that failure. So we have to think about economic warfare here.
Sure. And we cannot allow Iran to control the Strait of Hormuz. And I don't think we're going to see that. Like, again, we already have allies coming on to help control that. We've already talked to Trump administration's talked to Japan. He's talked to the French, multiple allies that says they're going to continue to help actually control the Strait of Hormuz.
Now, we've seen too many reports. Nate's going to clean this one up. Once again, because the Gary Belton guy's arguing on the surface. If he's saying theories, fine. But he's saying on the surface shit, right? So thus, on the surface, there's obvious rebuttals for that in regards to the French, where they're saying like you can't use our airspaces for certain things, right? On the surface, in my opinion, these guys want Iran to get toppled so that they can like pay in for their own share of the Strait of Hormuz, right? Which is a gold mine for countries that are not being, I mean, super duper sanctioned, right? If Iran was not like hyper sanctioned, I mean, it's money on top of money with that territory, like owning ports and shit like that. Like easy, it's fucking easy, right? But you have countries like France, which will not be fucking sanctioned by the U.S. or other bigger countries, right? Thus, it right, if they had a controlling factor in regards to that area, along with their partners, it's a fucking easy win for them. Economically, on a conscious level, it's dog shit. It's holy shit. Enjoy purgatory, you weirdos. But on a financial level, it'd be a win for these guys pretty easily, I would think. So at best, the French are just saving face, but still, on the surface reports, French not allowing certain airspaces to be used. Maybe they relinquish or maybe like hold back some of the refueling planes that they were doing during like Gaza, right? Or the initial 12-day war thing, right, with Iran. But let's see what Nate says as a rebuttal, because there's plenty of information to use there. Here we go.
We're going to continue to help actually control the Strait of Hormuz. Now,
whoa. They have not agreed to that. In fact, not only that, France and Spain just came out and said that they're actually going to put restrictions on allowing U.S. to use any of their land for anything militarily. That was yesterday.
Yeah,
and airspace. Who did you say?
France and Spain both.
Taking our military completely out. France to leave NATO.
They're not coming to help.
Yeah, we're gonna have additional support. There's no doubt about it. And
what is
he just pivoted. He's seen a pivot.
The United States Navy is the most powerful navy in the world, and we can't.
What did you just say?
How do you stop?
This fool just pivoted. Like, well, we'll have other support. It's remember the Chappelle skit of Black Bush, right? He's Black George Bush, right? He's like,
yeah.
It's like, we got plenty of help over here. The reporter's like, from who? He's like, who asked that question? Who the fuck asked that? We got Riggedy Row, Africom Mbata and the Zulu nations coming to help. Japan sending PlayStations to help us out. It's like that was like literal, like his little answer right there. There we go.
Of their land for anything militarily. That was yesterday.
I'm sorry, you cut out. Who did you say?
France and Spain both.
Taking our military completely out. France to leave NATO.
They're not coming to help.
Yeah, we're gonna have additional support. There's no doubt about it.
We'll have other support. Don't worry about that.
Support's going to do. The United States Navy.
Somebody's going to step up.
Timbuktu's coming to help us out, and
how are you going to stop Iran's drones from hitting oil tankers?
You don't think that we're going to be able to control the Strait of Hormuz with our Navy?
We can't do it right now.
Yes, we can. I mean, it's not stopping from attacking. We're going to have some sort of non-issue.
There's no oil.
We can't do it right now.
That is a
yes, we can.
It's like the argument, but it's the argument.
I mean, once again, I think the Gary Melton guy is full of shit, but also he is an idiot. He's actually an idiot. You could savvy your way out of this, like, in a way, but he doesn't know how to do it, so he's just like a robot. He's just dumb as rocks, bro. He doesn't fucking know anything. He can't say anything. Like, well, yeah, we can. As like an answer. Like, well, say some information. Like
Ukraine is having an answer to the drones that Iran made and handed over to Russia. That only cost them $30,000 to provide. It's like a toy fucking drone with a fucking bomb attached to it, and it just kamikazes into whatever it wants to hit. Ukraine's answer: put nets up in the sky.
Ukraine's answer: send more troops, because you can't kill all of us, right? You can't kill all of us, so it's like, send more troops over.
It's blocked some drones, putting nets up in areas.
Well, that's lovely of them to be able to block those, but their actual answer is like, send more bodies. The ones they like, we'll be okay, because the losses won't be, we'll have enough, to keep fighting for more and more years. Love that.
Right.
Send more of the youth over there. Brilliant. But all right, let's hear Gary Melton actually melt. There we go.
Maybe.
Pause.
We can't do it right now.
Yes, we can. I mean, it's not going to stop
Shut
them from
Obama.
attacking.
Yes,
We're
we
not going
can.
to have some sort of non-issue.
There's no Western oil tankers flowing out of the Strait of Hormuz, bro. None.
What's
still.
that?
That's why you can go down to the local gas station, look up, and see that gas is $5 to $8 a gallon.
No. There are oil tankers going through the Strait of Hormuz right now. It is.
China,
not Western ally.
When they're paying for it in Chinese yuan and paying a $2 million toll per oil tanker there is.
No, that's factually wrong.
Well, then why is gas nationally almost $5?
Disprove
a gallon,
it with
Gary?
information. Gary,
we're at like what, $100 a barrel right now? We were at like 140 a barrel under Biden. We were having higher gas prices.
He's going to bring up like, hey, well, they relinquished sanctions from Iran and Russia, and then the statements in regards to the markets that Trump was doing. Like, once again, Nate has all the ammo on planet Earth because this guy just said, well, no, well, yes. Like, these are not sufficient answers for these questions. They're not sufficient at all.
He thinks the price of oil is the actual consideration. It's not.
Well, it's like supply. Well, supply, right? And that does shift the market. It does.
Faith. Hold on. It also is faith.
Oh, 100%. I'm just saying, like, if they see reports of like how much
people investing into it is putting faith in the price going up. It's not based on the supply and demand entirely. Sure, there is a point to the supply and demand, but when it's on the stock market and its price fluctuates, it is partially that people think it's going to go up, so they're investing.
Yeah.
Which means, what does people's faith say? It's going to go up.
Essentially. I did hear, once again, unsubstantiated for me at least. Like, I don't know enough. I'm dog shit at economics, but I saw someone say on Twitter, forgive me, someone said something about that there were tankers skirting around Iran's like little like kind of toll bridge in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard reports like someone's doing that. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying, like, to help Gary out a little bit. But Gary's dumbass doesn't know that, right?
No.
There are people saying
Pull
that
up a map. Pull up a map of Strait of Hormuz.
I know.
See where
I know what it looks
Tara
like.
and Oman. So where it's basically a snake. That's what it looks like.
Yes.
Of land. So there's not really a toll booth needed. It's so tight at a certain point. It's like a canal.
There were that is a major pause. But there was some people saying like, okay, someone's like hugging Oman so close, like so tightly. Pause. To where like they're actually like in a way like skirting around Iran. Although once again, if you look at a map, it does look like crazy to be able to do that, right? Because of the it's almost like a sharp turn, almost basically, right? If you look at like the map of the Strait of Hormuz, where it's like going one direction and kind of a sharp turn in the other direction, and a major, once again, a military with, let's be real, major weaponry should be able to like hold that down, essentially.
Absolutely, yeah. If you look at,
I'm just saying, people are saying there are other things out there. That's all.
Hold on. If you compare the girth of the Strait of Hormuz to the English Channel.
How dare you? You said girth on purpose. How dare you?
So if you compare that Hormuz to the English Channel, and then think these guys can shoot about 1,000-mile range, and they're literally
right there,
5 miles from.
They're right there.
5 miles from this place, and you got like if you made it the English Channel between France and England, they could still handle all of that if it was right there for them. So it's like, what do you mean you're hugging the side of the land? They can reach you.
It's just words being said out loud that I have to throw out there to help Gary out, because Gary should be saying this as a propagandist. He should be saying this, but he can't. I think he's too stupid to be able to even do that.
He's saying nuh-uh.
No, he said yeah.
It's just unfair.
My shoes? Your shoes. Fuck you, pal.
It's unfair as the fight here. It's like...
Yeah. It goes back to exactly what was said before by plenty of people, even me guessing, and people here guessing. You need ground forces in order to like actually stop Iran from doing what you don't want them to do. You actually have to have ground troops to do it. whether it's a hired army or it's your own army. That has to happen, and that's good.
What I read yesterday, and then I talked to Harrison about something, and he enlightened me on something. There was a report by some trusted journalist that knows military shit. Says we got B-52s flying over Iran, unchecked. And then one of the things that Harrison said is, yes, their air defense is completely wiped out. We could absolutely kill everyone there now if we wanted to within a week, within 3 days. All we would have to do is what we did to Dresden, Hamburg, and Habsburg, which was firestorms. Drop so many fucking bombs that the fire that it causes becomes a vacuum. But it would be complete and utter destruction, and they probably don't want to do something like that because it's equivocal to a nuke. Just take a lot more bombs without
you know
dropping
that
a nuke.
you know that the firebombing of Dresden only worked because all of their buildings were made of wood, right?
If they wanted to just like, okay, we're just gonna all out willy-nilly just bomb the entire fucking place, like they could do that for sure.
Just use a nuke.
They could target
Stop being a pussy and just nuke them.
They could do that too.
The reason,
but it's like
right. So the reason they don't want to do that is because the PR would be so bad it would piss off their allies to the point where they'd be
Dude, their allies are already pissed off.
Nuked.
Isn't Trump mocking other people's wives and shit?
It'd have to it would be crazy.
I don't know.
He's like making fun of the Frenchman for having a wife that beats him or something.
Oh.
There's
no, not our allies. Their allies, as in Russia and China.
Oh, Russia's not going to do anything. China's not going to do anything either.
I don't think China would. Russia, no, not either. I don't think either one of them would do anything.
If we took Tehran off the fucking world map, there would be no way they could just stand by.
What if you offered them a sweet deal?
No, I mean, like, their people would revolt.
No, they wouldn't. Russians don't care about this shit. I don't care about this shit. Nobody cares about this shit.
Look at Vale's fucking losing his shit, dude. Look at Vale's losing his shit.
Yeah, but he's a communist.
He's a Russian.
He's a Russian communist who thinks communism was great.
Okay.
No,
we're going into silly territory.
No, he doesn't.
Let's go back to an actual conversation. No one knows who fucking Velez is. No offense to him. But no one...
But I'm saying, like, the example is, like, look, if you look at what he's saying, he's celebrating every day that fucking, like, Iran is fighting back and destroying America.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen his posts in chat.
Yeah. I do believe, I mean, yeah, if they wanted to use full-blown, let's just blow the fucking place up type of shit. But even on a greedy level, these guys probably value some of their infrastructure as valuable, right? From refineries or energy sectors, right, as valuable. Which is why maybe Trump was like, hey, listen, we're not going to bomb your shit, so don't bomb our shit. Our shit meaning like other Gulf countries.
We're freeing you. Yeah, half their PR is we're freeing you.
Then again, we have these people are stupid and they're crazy and they're stupid. So once again, who knows what could happen later on? But let's hear Gary Melton melt. Here we go. Pause.
Talking about Joe Biden, we're still early into the war. Oil can still go much higher. It's almost double.
This whole thing could go to hell. I mean, we could look at the worst case scenario every single time, and we can always
you're just a doom and gloom person, aren't you?
What's that?
So what's your end state here? What's the strategic? Here's another thing. I'm a little bit confused because you said Iran is the world's leader in state-sponsored terrorism. Since when is Shia Islam? Since when is Shia Islam carried out the majority of terrorist attacks in the world? Because we both know it's Sunni Islam.
What are you talking about? Hezbollah. We got Hamas. Those are all Iranian proxies. What do you even mean?
Just saying the State Department shit.
How is that? Has that the world's leader in state-sponsored ISIS has carried out, Al Qaeda have carried out infinitely more terrorist attacks than Iran.
Like the IRGC is designated as a terrorist organization. We know that
this guy's a liar. He's done. GG's.
Just like all the rest are. My point is, since this is like Fox News talking points, right? Like, ooh, Iran is 2 weeks
Call
away
him
from
a liar, Nate.
for 47 years. They're the biggest threat ever. It's like
Nate's tired. Call him a liar, Nate. Like, yo, you're a fucking liar, aren't you? Because guess what? It's probably true. Let's be honest. This guy, this Gary Melton guy, is probably a fucking liar. Let it be known. Or at least ask him, like, hey, man, you a liar? But okay, here we go. Let it play out.
yeah, okay, all right, like, but they're not an any bigger threat than anybody else. And I'll also say this: you see this all the time. It's like, well, we got to take care of this problem. Okay, Al Jilani is the leader of Syria right now and is a welcome guest in the White House. Why are we pretending like things in the past through terrorists are now we have to invade your country for it?
We're not invading.
It's not a bad
throw
point.
the whole argument out the window when Donald Trump's bringing Al Jilani into the White House as an honored guest.
We're not. That's his answer.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. You guys can't debate, Gary.
Yeah, save him, Alex. Save him. But what do you mean invading? We're not invading. Like, yo, this guy's a fucking liar. He's a liar, bro. Here we go. So is Alex. So let's see what Alex does here. Here we go.
Nate, there's no debate. They tried to sell ground invasion the last 2 weeks. Like that's.
Alex saves them. Alex saves them.
I agree with that.
It's like Charlie does.
Let me ask you guys this question: how do we
save him, Alex?
1,000 pounds
Save
of
him.
uranium is anywhere? I know we can track some of it. The idea, I've talked to a lot of former current people, they're saying, yeah, it's super risky, but we're willing to do it if they tell us to.
This is such an IQ test of a video.
How insane is it to try to claim you're going to send special ops in with technicians to try to get stuff with forklifts out of these bases? What do you make of that?
What?
Well, I mean,
in the middle of Iran,
Pause.
I make that everybody's going to die if they try.
What are they trying to get out of forklifts?
Enrich uranium. Enrich uranium. Listen, Alex just saved. That was so blatant too. Alex just saved this fool because he looked like an idiot,
Right.
With no answers, no details of his answers, no evidence for his answers, just saying shit. And Alex fucking saved him. Oh, wait, hold on, fellas. Listen, you guys have like Hello Kitty book bags? Do you have those? Just like distraction, essentially, is what Alex just did right there. Blatantly enrich uranium. Let's go to like the negotiations about enriched uranium, please, or plutonium, or whatever the fuck, right? Let's go there, Alex. Instead, he asked a question to kill what was happening, which was one guy was running over the other person. Let's just be honest. That's what was happening. But it's all good, right? We're all stupid observers, right? We're all dumb observers. Let's watch more of this. Here we go.
How to get stuff with forklifts out of these bases? What do you make of that?
Well, I mean,
in the middle of Iran, I make that everybody's going to die if they try that.
no. First of all, our capabilities are much better than that, Nate. You know that as well. Like,
Your support, I get it, but it's still.
Gonna run. Good. Run in.
I'm saying I support it, but what I'm saying is we can't do that safely.
Run in on foot.
I'm sure you know what it takes. I mean, we do training for this in trying to infiltrate underground bunkers. It's one of the most dangerous things that you can do in special operations. And now you're going to do it in Iran?
Is this dangerous?
In the center of Iran?
Well, it's not in the center of Iran. It's up by Fordo, as far as I understand, where they actually have the.
Yeah, they know where it is. And what's Iran going to do when we put
the media's also.
It's common sense. Like, well, if we know you're coming for this stuff, we'll send our troops there, which means that's the new center of Iran when it comes to the military, right? That place becomes the new center. Okay, now what are you gonna do now? Just run in straight lines at them? Like, you gonna zigzag? Like, get the fuck out of here, bro! You're not doing that.
Look, it's
stupid.
It's like Star Wars, the invasion of Hoth. They're gonna put sandbags and defend the entrances.
Listen.
And then you got to go through the amount of people that are there that are armed, holding the front line. You're talking about a front line that you're gonna create, and you're gonna invade, and it's gonna be no fucking problem.
Exactly, which is a lie, right?
Right.
even by their standards, right? Fine means like, well, we only lost like 20,000. You know, like how's that fine? How's that okay for you? Aren't these like your brethren? 20,000 dead is okay. That's fine. Hey,
You
what's
might
that?
have some trick plays to where you fucking first send in like 10,000 troops to this other area, and then you get enough of them distracted to make that a front line, and then you sneak around and fucking put
That's called
another
sacrificing.
10,000 over. Well, I mean,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
like now we're talking battle strategies instead of fucking just this one fucking place. Because to have this sneak operation that that would be boots on the ground would be like, okay, part of my entire invasion is gonna have A, B, C, D, E, F, G and targets. I'm gonna have to we're not gonna be able to sneak attack all of them.
It's
You're
called
just
Ramsey
saying
Bolton.
this is an important one. You're just saying this is an important one of our targets.
It's Ramsey Bolton, Battle of the Bastards, right? We will sacrifice these guys in order to gain a position. Like, which means like, hey, you guys are gonna die now. But you don't tell them that, right? You don't tell them like, hey, you're dead after this. You don't tell them that shit, right? You give them confidence. Say, go ahead, charge. Go ahead, charge. They get killed, and you do like a sneak attack from another direction, right? You do like a pincer move, as Game of Thrones called it. And I'm sorry, Nate.
Well, fuck, that's better strategy than what fucking Melton's describing. At least there's fucking a flank. He's just saying fucking we're gonna somehow, like, in the middle of the night with black helicopters sneak into the entrance. Nobody's gonna be at the fucking entrance. They don't have guards, and we're just gonna take everything out with forklifts. That's so fucking retarded.
It actually, like, his plan sounds like AI, actually. Like, literally. It's like, just, like, skip scenes.
Guess what? Blackhawks can't carry the weight that a forklift that Black Hawks.
Is it Mike's Hawks?
They can't carry any like significant weight like you would expect, like sneaking out nuclear enrichment stuff would be.
I get your point, Dubster, but we're still at like the dumbest level of this. And I look at Nate, and I'm like, hey man, this guy's answers to things. At some point, it's like, okay, this is stupid. This is dumb too. Wait a minute. Are you fucking lying to me? I keep saying it, but like I need that to happen. Like, yo, are you a fucking liar, bro? Who are you? Where'd you come from? Yeah, Nate should be doing that right now. Alex is a liar too, but like Alex is like keeping himself out of it. But all right, here we go. Whatever. Here we go.
You guys have been playing this same video for like 3 hours.
I understand that where they actually
Harrison, find a mirror, please. Here we go.
They have the
yeah, and they know where it is.
The
What's he wrong going to do when we put
coming? The media is also, they know where you're coming.
Yeah.
Look, a lot of these arguments were made about Venezuela as well. Like, we can't go do that.
Venezuela. Look,
you trying to pretend that
he's doing talking points.
Venezuela's military.
But we know they paid off most of the Clippers had to kill. I agree that was an incredible operation, but that's a cakewalk compared to going deep
my little boy he's burping up right now.
You
Turn it down a bit.
And you don't think that we can pay off most of the Iranians? You don't think that we have intelligence networks that are actually making deals right now? And again, this is like a little bit of extremely...
No, listen, if you've got the intelligence network, then throw the goddamn government over.
I'm with you. I think that's exactly what they should do.
Yo, Alex.
Again, what we're saying is...
Venezuela, and I hope Cuba. I would support Venezuela, because I can study
and
it.
I hope
this
Cuba.
Is a whole different...
He wants to overthrow
Venezuela is like eating a pig versus an elephant. It's a whole different ball of wax.
It's like, listen, if we can do this easily, I'm with it. Do it. It's like, yo, you're a fucking warmonger, essentially. The 9/11 guy is a warmonger. Once again, the idea of Iran right now is based off of the things that this guy claimed to like debunk essentially, or like, oh, the neocons, right? He claimed to be like going against it. Now he's like full blown, essentially supporting it in the sense of like, if it was easy, yeah, go ahead. If it was easy, go ahead, do it.
Listen what he did. He offered him another out right there. He said, well, if they could just fucking take over the government, they wouldn't need to worry about Furdo.
You could just say, yeah, well, they will.
And the guy went with it. It was just the fucking Gary guy went with it, and he was saying like, yeah, I want that too. Like, that's another one of our targets, the whole government.
Dweeb on roids. Sorry.
And then before that, Alex said, look, we've already told the world Furdo is one of our targets. Of course they know it's one of our targets. They've increased fucking security measures to protect it.
It's like, I got your help right here. I threw you an alley-oop, man. Just dunk it. But it's like, it wouldn't work like either way. It wouldn't work.
I know. I mean, these are fucking two talking point helpers of each other, and they're still fucking losing to the guy that's like, dude, didn't I fucking tell you? Like, I was with the Green Berets, and one of the hardest trainings was, and the most realistic, dangerous training was tunnel invasions.
Here we go. Nothing else needed to be said. Here we go.
I don't disagree that it is here. What's the strategic victory for the United States here?
That Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. Like that,
my
is
God.
whatever happens.
What does that mean?
Beyond that, they cannot have nuclear weapons.
We already destroyed all their nuclear weapons 6 months ago.
Yeah, they said in June that Midnight Hammer was done.
Obliterated everything.
And they're continuing to develop nuclear weapons.
So we have to do this every. So Gary, you're saying we have to do this every 9 months for perpetuity.
He's so exposed.
What I'm saying is exactly like if you're gonna have peace through strength, sometimes you got to drop some bombs. What I am confused about is like, are we just going to just completely draw in?
You want some peace?
Not
got to drop some bombs.
I don't think anybody thinks we're drawing in under Trump. I'm concerned we're overextending.
Like,
yeah,
Iran can.
Wait,
why
what was
do we
that?
need to be fighting this?
I'm concerned we're over.
Not address any of the world issues.
Well, I don't think anybody thinks we're drawing in under Trump. I'm concerned we're overextending.
What?
Like,
yeah,
Iran can.
It did make sense
we need to
here.
be fighting this war in Iran. Nobody's been able to correctly, other than your typical Fox News. They can't have nukes. They're the world's leader in state-sponsored terrorism. They've been trying to kill Americans for 47 years. Yada yada yada. Got it. Okay, that's not actually what we think.
If we're going to characterize that, then you're actually going with the MSN Now talking points. Like, we can't do anything. Trump can't do anything. Like,
this guy's a fucking robot. Who is this guy, bro? I was like, yeah. I was like, damn it. It's not the right answer to say here. Fuck. He's going to text him like, say this instead. Even Alex Jones outflanks him on narrative spinning. He's better than this guy, bro. He is horrendous. Here we go.
What are those noises there, Harrison?
I can't hear him.
Sorry, Harrison. I had to put you back on mute.
All right, here we go.
It's just going to be the worst thing.
So here's the thing. Here's the big misconception we're having. So Gary thinks a conventional war is going to work in Iran while Iran is leveraging asymmetric warfare against us. Okay? As a Green Beret, you know what they're doing.
Yeah, Trump thinks blowing up targets does something. Not when they have a straight Hormuz.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yo, Alex, shut the fuck up.
The idea
shut up.
that you're going to bomb Shia Islam into submission, the same people culturally who are willing to strap suicide vests and jump in a vehicle-borne IED and blow themselves up and kill them, you're going to bomb them into submission, a culture that believes heavily in martyrdom after you slaughtered the Ayatollah, killed 200 little elementary school girls.
You guys are welcome to come back tomorrow on Harrison. This is amazing. But I want to give Gary Melton closing comments.
Yeah, cut him off, Alex. Brilliant. Genius. As soon as he brings up as soon as he brings up the schoolgirls, it's like, anyways, fuck.
So
Alex looks fucking stressed, by the way. He looks stressed. Look at his face. He looks stressed. He's like, fuck. Damn it. He looks upset.
Did you catch what Nate did right there? So this guy, Gary...
He done stupid points he shouldn't see on, honestly, but he did.
So this guy, Gary, has said that the Iranian IRCD or whatever, Hezbollah and Hamas are state-sponsored terrorists from Iran.
Yeah.
And this guy, Nate, was like, dude, they're not as bad as ISIS and Al Qaeda. And like Gary didn't respond to that, and so he just adopted the idea that Shia is the big old suicide bombers. Well, no, that was the ISIS and Al Qaeda and Taliban kind of shit. And
Taliban.
so he's like, he's giving into that and saying, okay, if you believe they're the number one state-sponsored terrorist, then you're believing they're the suicide vest-wearing bombers. So how do you beat that? It's like, if I play into your narrative, how do you beat your own fucking narrative?
I disagree. I think he was saying that. I don't know if it was to I think it's a little bit part of what he might be doing in regards to like, hey, I'll say these guys are like, yeah, there are bad guys. Here's why they're bad guys. Like, how do you deal with that? Sure, to some degree, but also like he's, I don't know. it screams sure, debate tactics, but still, does he actually believe that? I don't know.
I think he was just like facing the contradictions within the person he was debating, not as in he actually believed that. He was like,
Yeah,
this
but
is
it
what
came
you're
off like
saying.
he believes it, I think.
So I'll adopt that. No, Nate not believing that. I don't think Nate believed that. I think Nate was facing Gary and saying, this is what you're saying. So therefore, figure out how to fight back against your big problem.
Let me rewind. It seemed like he was saying it kind of seriously. That's concerning for me, but also concerning in the sense of like correction, as far as like being correct. In regards to like Iran and their proxies and shit like that. Sure, some people have done things, but let me say. Then also, like, as soon as he brings up once again the schoolgirls, I was like, all right, guys, listen. I'll see you tomorrow. We can try it again later. Just stop it immediately right there. Here we go.
One is leveraging asymmetric warfare against us. Okay? As a Green Beret, you know what they're doing.
Trump thinks blowing up
asymmetric warfare is not the same as putting on a ship.
Hold on. Yeah. The idea, let me get this. The idea that you're going to bomb Shia Islam into submission, the same people culturally who are willing to strap suicide vests and jump in a vehicle-borne IED and blow themselves up and kill them, you're going to bomb them into submission?
No, that's him saying
Iraq, the Ayatollah.
That's him.
200 little.
It's him saying that they actually do that. That's what it sounds like to me.
Of course you want to bomb them first, don't you?
He's like, oh, imagine the idea like you're just going to do this operation with people that do stuff like this. It didn't seem like he was like countering him.
Can I just say one thing?
Hey, God.
No, from previous.
Say many things.
Previous, he said that's not them. No. Previous to that, he was saying like, who you're describing as the number one terrorist isn't Iran. It's ISIS and Al Qaeda. That was what he said earlier. Like
okay,
way
if he
earlier,
did that,
like
then
10 minutes ago.
Okay, if he did that, fine. But like, I hate that in debates where you just adopt their arguments. Like, okay, let's say you are correct. Like, essentially, like let's say this is the case, and like argue from that perspective when you don't actually believe that personally. That's kind of weird to me, and it came off like he was just saying that as like he believes it. Me personally, but RoboCop, what do you got?
I just wanted to say something about that girls' school that was bombed. Trump saved those girls from a lifetime of being married to 65-year-old
and
men
now I'm hitting play
and becoming brood mares for the patriarchy.
Thanks, man.
So.
Thank you, RoboCop. Thank you.
Brood mares for the patriarchy.
I appreciate that, man.
Wait, what did I just walk into?
You walked into
you missed my joke, Ox, you bastard.
mindless little kids. All right, let's hit play. Here we go.
suicide vests, jump in a vehicle board, IED, and blow themselves up and kill them. You're going to bomb them into submission, a culture that believes heavily in martyrdom after you slaughtered the Ayatollah, killed 200 little elementary school girls.
You guys are welcome to come back tomorrow on Harrison. This is
stop.
Amazing. But I want to give Gary Melton closing comments. And Harrison
laugh.
Over. Go ahead, Gary.
He's horrendous.
I mean, the idea that we're going to rely completely on conventional warfare and that we're not going to use asymmetrical warfare at all is crazy to me. That's not what being discussed. Hold on. That's not what's being discussed at DOD, and we don't know what asymmetrical warfare that we're conducting. We have plans.
Iran's asymmetric warfare.
Well, then you can't argue about it.
Work. They should already work. Go ahead. Finish up. Closing comment. Let him have his
I'm just saying, look, at the end of the day, one of the things that I supported Trump on it, and something like 90% plus of MAGA and Trump voters are still supporting this war. And the reason is because
this guy's a fucking robot. He's quoting the CNN polls, bro.
90% of MAGA supports it, 87% of GOP supports it, and 79% of almost not being Republican voters support it too. I've heard that talking point.
You missed one. You missed one. 100% of MAGA GOP support this. You missed that one too.
My bad.
Somehow 100%. Somehow, I don't know if it's like 3 people or if it's like 10,000. I don't know. I don't know what that means. But of course, this guy's quoting the poll numbers. Like, see, look, see, God, Jesse.
If you don't support Trump, then you're not MAGA.
Or GOP.
So okay, so they like go to like a polling station. They ask someone, right? Like, hey, man, do you support this war in Iran? He's like, no. All right, you're not MAGA. Bye. Hey, do you support this war in Iran? No. You're not MAGA either. Bye. Do you support this war in Iran? Yes. You are MAGA? Okay, thank you. It's like, is that like the polling station? Is that what it actually looks like? That's hilarious. But yeah, if you support it, you're MAGA. If you don't, you're not. That's how it's 100%. Can you imagine? That was the fucking like their polling question, or sorry, polling style, or whatever the fuck it's called. But all right, this guy is 2 million % full of shit. 2 million %. He is a robot. Yeah. He is a hired gun, essentially. But he's a shitty gun. He's a fucking water pistol. Essentially, he's not the real deal, bro. He is horrendous at this.
That last argument he said, though, well, we don't know. They're obviously going to do asymmetric warfare, but we don't know what that's going to be. Then you can't fucking argue it.
And now we're going to do it too. We know that too. We'll do it too. We'll be asymmetrical all we want. Okay. God.
Right. There's plenty of asymmetrical shit, but if you don't know it and you're not stating it, how can I fucking be informed of what you're even fucking saying? It's just a fucking term at the way this guy talks.
For something that these guys claim to be so legit, their arguments for it are horrendous. I mean, this guy he's the worst I've heard, I think, in regards to Iran. He's the worst arguer of it. He is terrible. Actually, the Charlie Kirk stuff too. He's horrendous. Remember
he knows like no details of symmetrical warfare. I mean, he might just at some point be like, well, they're gonna hack some stuff.
Well, the Charlie Kirk stuff, once again, Joe pointed out that this guy wasn't in the right stairwell when he's like so-called retracing Tal Robinson's steps. So he's fucked there. He's horrendous. Apparently on everything I've heard him talk about. Apparently. And I was like, yep, okay, go ahead. Gary, go ahead, finish up. What do you got? It's like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Like, was it a fucking ham sandwich could dunk on this guy in a debate at this point. It is that bad. But either way, I'm gonna leave it there because actually, okay, my bad. I think I wanted to hear one more thing here. Let me say. Oh, Jesus Christ. There we go.
Plus of MAGA and Trump voters are still supporting this war, and the reason is because Trump ran on the fact that Iran is not going to have a nuclear weapon. He's been saying it for the last 40 years. I agree with that. I think us investing and taking Iran out now ensures that we don't have a forever war with a nuclear-armed Iran in 10 years.
Oh, no,
20
I agree.
years.
We could take them out. That shuts down Russia and China, but I don't think it's going to work. Gentlemen, both things.
There's Alex saying it. I'm okay with it. Just like the plan is bad, but do a different plan. I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Brilliant.
Like, this shit's stupid.
Brilliant. But
You get way too many talking points.
yeah, it's like they should be like, yeah, sure. You're gonna argue these things, sure, pal. You're horrendous at this. You're dog shit. Yada yada yada. Anyways, hopefully the audience enjoyed this. There's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree or disagree. Please let it be known. I mean, what do you disagree with? I think we mainly asked questions and said some ideas out loud. The one thing I will personally assert, as like I believe this is actually part of reality, which is Gary Melton's a fucking liar, and so is Alex Jones. Those two guys are fucking liars. I hope Nate means well. Valhalla VFT. I hope he means well. But those two guys on the left side of your screen right now, the middle and left, I believe those guys are liars. And it's good luck moving me from that right now. Good luck. But please, say your opinions out loud about Charlie Kirk or Iran. Whatever you got, please let it be known. Don't forget to share support. Hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please join the Discord if you feel like. All opinions are welcome. We're in that Discord right now, so please join up if you feel like. Also, please check out the links to everything we showed you, which is like 2 things. So please look at that if you want to. They will be linked in the description box for your own pleasure. Where'd K2C go? I was gonna make him do the outro. Can anyone do an outro right now? I know who's here. Harrison?
Mr. X.
Oh, that's you. I was like, I thought that was like someone different.
Nah, I just changed my name and profile picture.
Anyways, most importantly, give this video, K2C. What's the outro?
Give this video a thumbs up for a bag of crisps and some team biscuits.
Which equally means like a thumb down, like basically.
And also do it for some fish and chips too.
Also a thumbs down. So give this video a thumbs down. Yeah, sure.